All right, folks, let's have ourselves a little Friday night live. What do you say? I'm going to share it out far and wide, and I would encourage you to do the same thing. If you want to wake up your friends, your family, let's get them tuned in here as we cover the greatest transfer of wealth in world history live for the night. Let's get it going. Sharing it out on the X platform. Still is weird to me calling it X. I still call it Twitter. I still call it tweets. Let's get it going, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's take a look. Our market's back up, but we cooled off. So earlier, we dropped a video earlier today. The market was pumping, and it did something fantastic. Bitcoin, gold, and XRP all pumping to finish off the Friday here. Very good. Very good, but we did cover and break down kind of why I think this is another bull trap rally. You know, be careful here, especially for Bitcoin, because there's a lot of hype in the space. Grayscale got the victory over the SEC, and the SEC did not appeal. So earlier today, we covered and how maybe in tonight's live show, we were going to be able to have the answer. Well, we do. That's the beautiful thing about going live at 7:30 Pacific Standard Time here on the West Coast. Thank you for tuning in late night, is that we get to cover the stuff that comes out late in the day after the market's already been closed, but we still have activity happening worldwide. We cover it, bringing it back home, obviously based out of the United States. God bless this country, but it is just unfortunate to see the situation that our country is in right now. Incredibly vulnerable, and I'm trying to wake up as many people as we can so that they can get saved. And the thing is if you're willing to learn, maybe we can save and protect your bag. But if you're willing to take action right now, folks, see, this gets me up, sitting up in my chair here, getting a little excited, because you can take advantage of the greatest transfer of wealth in world history. It's not just a meme. It's not just some clickbait. It's not just something I throw out. When the world seems like it's about to end, right? And it's getting really crazy out there, and it's a real situation, my prayer is going out for everyone impacted. And I pray that we get peace back home here, but it looks like it's about to pop off back home. So we stay ready and we stay prepped and we stay praying. Absolutely. But if you're willing to take action based off of what we're covering and what we understand, and you're willing to bring some accountability back home, you can bring a bag back home as we buy businesses, we buy real estate, and other great assets that are going to run the new financial system while these assets are suppressed. We continue to pack our bags, and then we figure out how do we stack as much of this fake fiat money as we can, just so that we can dump it into suppressed assets that are going to run the new financial system. You also need the extra cash regardless. And so that's why I say that even if you're willing to learn, hopefully we can save your bag, protect your bag. But guys, I'm still so excited as can be. We have amendments coming to the XRP Ledger like the AMM, the final ingredient to the secret sauce. Are you guys ready to turn up tonight? Now, I want to give a shout out to Shannon in our Discord group. She asked if we were going to have a live tonight, and I said we are. We are going to turn up here tonight. We've already dropped 2 videos today, but we are going for a Friday night live because I still have more to cover. We still got to break this whole thing down, and I'd like to answer some questions and get your guys' comments here tonight as well. So Shannon said that she's drinking a Malbec. I'm drinking a Pinot Noir. I don't know what you guys are drinking for an adult beverage. Maybe it's late. Maybe you're waking up on the other side of the planet here, and you're just getting started with your coffee. God bless all of you for joining me here tonight. I'm going to cover it all, right? We do current events. We do cryptocurrency. And then how do we make some dang money? And then how do we actually build enough to pass it on down to the generations below us? Cheers to everyone joining me here tonight. God bless all of you. We're going to have a lot of fun here tonight on a Friday Night Live. Thank you so much. And if you haven't already, let's smash that thumbs up. God bless you. Lot to cover, so I'm going to move quick. Let's get it rocking and rolling. Market back up 26,911 for your Bitcoin, back below 27,000. We peaked up at about 27,100 earlier today. 1,555.05 for Ethereum and XRP at 48.55. 48.5 for our XRP. Let's check out the charts here. We retrace basically back down to the 702 level on that fib retracement back here. And we lower, the low spot was 26.5. Back up to about 27.1 here today. A little bit of excitement front running the news. Of course, as it's been exposed through the FTX case, now everybody's snitching on everybody, trying to cover their own butts. It's all rigged. And these exchanges were playing against each other, trying to kill each other. It was just one big game. You know, it's just like they play Dungeons and Dragons or whatever the game, not to hate on Dungeons and Dragons, you know, I never played that game. But you get my point, right? These guys are playing video games and then managing billions of dollars trying to take each other out like it's just another video game. You know, they're just so careless. It's like unbelievable how Sam Bankman-Fried was able to run just billions and billions of dollars through his exchange. Now it's all getting uncovered. And so this is why we continue to warn about Bitcoin being completely rigged. When we get these narratives, we got to watch out. When we get price action, we got to be careful here. And I've been showing my Discord how I'm making my trades. I want to put out the disclaimer before I get into this episode, reminding everybody, I am no longer reaching out, responding to any DMs on any social media platforms. The only way to get in touch with me is through my website, zachrector.com, or be within our Patreon Discord community, only spots. Everyone's getting verified, everyone's getting secure, and we're just going to protect our community by doing that. So I am not responding to any DMs. Send me an email at my website, zachrector.com. Get in touch, please. But let's just stay safe out there. The scammers are relentless. Okay, but I only talk about my trading in my Discord group. I've been showing them what I've been doing, which is shorting Bitcoin based off of these same narratives, time after time again. Over a dozen Bitcoin shorts over the last year, losing one time. This is where we're at once again. I'm tied. My hands are tied because futures really is, you know, we really don't have a legitimate futures exchanges in markets within the United States. And so it's very difficult for US residents to actually trade futures on crypto right now. It's very unfortunate. But meanwhile, the whole idea here, why we get the pump, is because we're going to be bringing in trillions upon tens of trillions of dollars worth of exposure to the crypto space through the ETFs. That's the good news. That's something to get excited about. Is this another bull trap rally? Yes, I do believe so. Okay, but as long as we understand how the game gets played, then we can remain emotionally calm and understand and just watch it, let it come to us, right? And then what right now, here's what we got on the markets. Let me show you guys what we're watching. The market was back up for our favorites. Gold, you guys maybe have some Bitcoin. I don't, but our XRP did as well. Gold, Bitcoin, XRP moving. The DXY was sideways. S&P down 0.5%. NASDAQ down 1.24%. Dow flatlined. Apple down 1%. Tesla down 3%. Gold up 3%, pumping just like it did last Friday, actually. Gold pumping over nearly $63 on our gold, and we pumped nearly $1 on our silver, back up to just below 23 bucks, 22,895. Not to be confused with 589. Not to be confused with 589. 22,895 for your silver continuous contract. So just under 23 bucks, just in the blink of an eye, back up another buck. And I'm going to show you guys here a little bit later. These guys have been going short, record shorts from the hedge funds, and they find themselves in trouble as they're getting wrecked today. They have billions of dollars of shorts on gold, hundreds of millions on silver, and they're getting cleaned out and wrecked by this move. Now, it's definitely going down, folks. Let's take a look here at this current event situation with Mario Nafal on X leading the way, holding a lot of these great spaces. What a platform that we got now to actually cover this in real time. It's pretty incredible. U.S. Central Command announces deployment of the American F-15E fighter jet in Gaza to boost air operations. We're about to light it up, folks. It's unbelievable. It is happening in real time, and we send off U.S. Secretary of State Blinken in the blink of an eye, arriving in Riyadh, stating, quote, I will meet with our Saudi partners to discuss the terrorist attacks by Hamas against Israel and the need to work together to prevent the conflict from spreading. How do we prevent it from spreading? We send in the American warships. I am praying for peace right now, folks. Holy smokes. This is the largest military known to man, and this is not a game. And what's unbelievable is we found this one today from Wheezy, one of the best researchers in the XRP and the truth community at large. Remember, this is bigger than XRP. This is so much bigger than just XRP. Wheezy, one of the best. From the Secretary of State website, when speaking about crypto, the two always mentioned are Bitcoin and Ethereum, except when you're trying to trash the industry. Then you mention Ripple, right? And they don't call it XRP. They never mention XRP. They trash the Ripple network, Right. The Secretary of State is Anthony Blinken. The one that I just showed you is in Saudi Arabia, about to go bow down to the kingdom. And the kingdom doesn't seem to really be rolling out the red carpet for him, do they? So it's a little different setup, a little different welcoming for Mr. Blinken. And as we see Biden make his dance as he travels around, it's a little bit different nowadays, isn't it? The United States and how we're respected on the world stage is a little different, isn't it? The Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken, his father co-founded Warburg Pincus, who is one of two investors in Genesis. How bizarre. Now, what we're looking at right here is this is directly from the Secretary of State website, and they say some criminals use the financial system to support terrorists or acts of terrorism. Just like Elizabeth Warren was saying here earlier today, I forget the Republican senator that was fudding out crypto as well, right? Talking about how crypto is being used to fund Hamas, right? So the narrative is there for these guys to launch that Operation Choke Point into its next phase. And they say terrorist financiers and other criminals use the formal financial system. New payment methods such as Bitcoin and Ripple, traditional methods of value transfer such as Hawala trade-based money laundering and cash couriers, particularly in countries with non-existent or weak national anti-money laundering countering the financing of terrorism AML CFT tools. You know, what's interesting about this is if you're acknowledging the XRP Ledger, then absolutely it is decentralized and anybody can use it. It is open source and permissionless, just like Bitcoin, right? But when it comes to Ripple, they're only doing KYC, know your customer, and working with, folks that are doing AML as well. Themselves doing everything on the up and up. There is nothing to hide. Everything is being tracked and recorded. Absolutely. And they're just ready to move the whole system forward. It's an absolute joke that they were sued by the SEC in the first place, but it's an absolute crime and the damages are massive. The corruption runs so deep. But when they want to hate on crypto, right? And they're so excited. Elizabeth Warren, so excited. I forget the Republican senator. This is both sides of the aisle now. And you got Representative Brad Sherman's probably going to come out and make a statement too. These absolute puppets of Wall Street and actually, I apologize, not puppets necessarily to Wall Street, partially to Wall Street, but also to the banking cartel. That's where this goes. And that's why we got to fire it up once again. They're about to light this thing up in the Middle East like we've never seen before. I dropped a video earlier today. If you didn't know this, fun fact, there's 500 ounces of silver in every Tomahawk missile. There's an incredible utility use case in military warfare for silver. That's not how I want to make my money off of silver. I want to just be part of leveling the playing field, right? And all of the, utility that comes from silver is massive. Military, the Tomahawk missiles, that's just one use case, obviously. Batteries, EV vehicles, and this new, green technology that they want. A lot of it comes back to these essential commodities to actually make these things up. And what we see with silver, massive, massive opportunity here. And so we see something very similar here across the board. They don't mention gold or silver. That's not an opportunity that you should consider. When it comes to trashing crypto, it's Bitcoin and Ripple are the networks that are used to finance criminal activity. Nothing could be further from the truth. And there's the beautiful thing about the open source permissionless XRP Ledger is that just that, anybody can use it. But the way that Ripple is using it is as one of the most legit, transparent companies in the space. As we defeated the SEC already, we'll see how the case concludes. It's very clear that Ripple's leading the way and is going to be a shining example of how to actually get crypto business done. Utilize DLT to actually solve trillion-dollar problems. And if you're here for solving trillion-dollar problems like I am and like Ripple is, let's have a cheers to that. God bless all of you for joining me here on a Friday Night Live. Huge shout out to Wheezy for coming across this great research. Secretary of State, he's about to get laughed off the stage there in Saudi Arabia anyways. Kingdom's about to tell him what the deal is. Let's continue. Kobesi letter. In 2023, so far we have seen a total of 516 corporate bankruptcies. This right here, folks, is another example of the greatest transfer of wealth in world history. 516 corporate bankruptcies. This is roughly double the year-to-date total in 2022 and about 39% more than the entire 2022 count. So we've already surpassed 2022. We still have the quarter four to go. We just got into Q4. So we're going to see even more. We're seeing the exact same level of bankruptcies in 2023 as 2020 when the global economy was shut down. Aside from 2020, we now have the highest year-to-date total bankruptcy count since 2010. Isn't it interesting how so much of this data, right, is taking us back to the great financial crisis? Now, this is what's so interesting to me. All as interest rates are likely to remain elevated for the entirety of 2024. Nobody's accepting that. Nobody's running with those models. Everybody's been running with models that said that the Fed was going to cut 3 times this year. That's what the economists told us. That's what all the smart guys said, is that we were going to get 3 rate cuts this year. That's what the market was pricing in. That's what the smart guys were saying. And that was the absolute opposite of what occurred as the Fed, Jerome Powell, continued the fastest rate increase ever done. Now, as I said earlier, the reason why crypto pumped today, SEC will not appeal court's decision on Grayscale's Bitcoin ETF. The SEC continues to take major losses, without a doubt. Without a doubt. And let me just get this out real quick. I want to give a special shout out. The reason why I got this red folder is because we got a gentleman by the name of Jimmy Valley. I want to give a shout out to Jimmy. It's actually his birthday today. Huge shout out to Jimmy. Happy birthday, brother. And may God bless you, because what we see right here, folks, is that we've been right about all of this corruption. And Jimmy was the man that got me started on having a red folder. We know that this community has put together an effort to expose this whole thing. And now we're finally starting to see major losses taking place for the SEC. Don't get it twisted, though. They're still going to be coming after the rest of the crypto space, but we always had the facts on our side, right? And Ripple was one of the companies that was always trying to do the right thing, unlike the rest of the space, the most transparent company in the space. But what we have now is the SEC adopting rules to increase transparency in short selling, where short sellers are forced to report deals within 15 minutes. So I talk about those gold and silver shorters at the managed money, right? And they have massive short positions. What the SEC is doing now is making these guys report sooner. This is all part of readjusting prices, because we don't have transparency in all of the derivatives bets that are actually getting placed against these assets. We don't even know how big the derivatives market is, right? And like I said, we don't even have access in legitimate channels to do futures trading in the United States. That's, there's a few options out there. There's a few, right? It's very difficult. But what the big money has been doing is shorting all of these suppressed assets, gold, silver, XRP. And now we start to break out here today. At some point, this thing breaks, and I'm talking about the slingshot that they've pulled back. It gets set free. The longer that they keep pulling it back and keep suppressing it, and the further that they take it, the farther we go. So the sky's the limit on where we go for these suppressed assets, but it's clear as day. Now we can watch them. We're going to be watching them even sooner because of the SEC's new rules. And we now know who is big time short going into this gold and silver rally. As of Tuesday, that would be October 10th, Managed Money increased their short positions in both gold and silver. To say they were caught with their pants around their ankles would be an understatement. Net short 550 million silver and 5 billion gold, right? And so what we see right now, I showed you guys, let me pull this back up. Gold, right? Let's take a look. Gold was up $63 here today, and silver was up a total dollar, a 4.2% change for silver and a 3.34 for gold. That's a massive move for gold and silver, right? Traditional markets that have deep liquidity, to move those markets 3 and 4%. We're not talking about crypto, bro. This is gold and silver with literally thousands of years of trading history against it, right? But what we have now is the SEC making new adjustments so that we're going to get full transparency on what trades everybody's making, right? And that's the beautiful thing about a DEX, right? We move to the crypto age of using decentralized exchanges. All of that can be tracked as well, where we move into a world of more transparency. I'm not going to say complete transparency, because you're still going to have private layers, private blockchains. Absolutely. Don't be mistaken. Don't get it twisted. That's why Ripple built the private layer for the central banks, is because they knew that the central banks wanted that privacy and control. So they gave it to them, right? But on the public mainnet, XRPL, it's all tracked. And on all these other blockchains, maybe a few others are going to make it. And what I absolutely love to see right now is we have the whole Ethereum free pass getting exposed. We have the SEC taking losses. And now the market is set to move in the direction where we're vindicated with price action, which is what everybody wants, right? I understand how frustrated we are in this bear market recession, how tough it's getting. Why do you think I'm here on a Friday Night Live having an adult beverage with you guys? I know it's tough out there. I know it's heavy, right? This is a spiritual war too. Currency war, commodity war, food, energy, water crisis in other countries. Here back in the West, in America, as I said all summer, I said in the West, we're still getting fat and happy. Here in the United States, having a good old time. And the writing was on the wall. The writing was in the details. If you actually look closely, where we were heading economically, and if they did decide to spark up the wars like they are doing, that it's only going to get worse because we're positioned differently for commodities, and we're already seeing threats like Qatar, who says they're going to put the natural gas market on a standstill, essentially is what he said. And so we're about to see a new level of the energy crisis that already squeezed out Europe, that already brought more than 20% inflation for the United States over the last couple years, even when you're running with the government CPI lie data, right? Because we have compounding inflation. Now, here's where we're at right now. We have the ball is in our court for the XRP community. We have the whistleblower, we have the sleuths in the community, and we have the SEC taking losses on other battlefields as well. In the XRP community, we've already really won. Now it's just up to Ripple to settle for institutional sales. That's an easy settlement, easy check, bada bing, bada bang, and we're off with our business. And Brad set sail, right? And what Brad has done here with this company is unbelievable. And we're just getting started. And this company is going to be the darling of Wall Street when it goes public. That's incredible. It's going to be an incredible deal. We're going to expose this thing. The damages are absolutely massive. And so this thing gets really volatile. So prepare for volatility all through the fall, winter, spring, where we get a cleanse. And then in the springtime, we're going to get that rebirth into the next summer, into the next cycle, into the next Bitcoin halving Sorry, it's not halving, it's halving. Everybody wants to correct my English. So it's the halving that's coming in April of 2024, most likely. But the rest of the space is getting killed. See, this is a different deal. We're about to see 90% of crypto get really squeezed out. The liquidity is going to be gone. And that's why we're down from 3 trillion overall cryptocurrency market cap back down to 1 trillion. But we have the BlackRocks of the world saying that 17.7 trillion is going to be coming into the crypto space potentially after ETFs get approved. We're seeing most estimates, all the white papers showing, that we get up to over 10 trillion easily by 2030. My expectation is that we could actually hit 10 trillion overall market cap by the 2025 peak of the next bull run. Okay. And for the XRP final timeline that I dropped earlier this week, that video did really well as far as it got a lot of views, but also got a lot of people that are upset because they want to go to 589 tomorrow. They want to go to 589 next year. And although we might go to 589, I don't rule stuff like that out. In the meantime, we are at war. And you can see that on the world stage. You can see that within the United States. Internal chaos, external chaos, all part of a falling empire. Right? So we got to be on our toes right now. We got to be ready. And I put out a Patreon exclusive earlier this week, just yesterday. Agents will be activated is what I titled it. It's about to go live here, folks. It already is. And we really haven't seen nothing yet. While we expose their corruption, these guys are willing to do some crazy stuff. Understand that. That's what we've been warning about, right? In the XRP community, I've been saying, guys, the more that we expose them, the more they have to settle this thing up. Everybody wants to know when settlement. Oh, it didn't happen in September. You're a bad guy. It's like, well, I was just betting my friend Daniel. He made a little app, peer-to-peer bets on the XRPL. I think that's kind of cool. We can bet our friend on, something happening. And so I bet Daniel that a settlement would happen in September. And I lost that bet. Daniel wins 100 XRP. I get to put my XRP to use. We get to have a little bit of fun. And I get to be a part of applying pressure against these three-letter agencies and the bureaucracy beast that has completely taken away the opportunity here in this country. That's why I do what I do. That's why we come live here on a Friday Night Live. That's why I bet Daniel. That's why we continue to cover this and expose what the sleuths in the community have been exposing. And we caught them all. Have we been wrong on timeline predictions? Some, yes, sure. But we've been early, and quite a few of our predictions have actually played out. We were early on some, and a lot of what we talk about happening is all still at play. That's the beautiful thing here. About XRP going to 589, about gold getting reset, about silver getting reset, about a real estate reset already underway. That's already been confirmed in the data. And real estate's lagging. It took us 4 or 5 years to bottom out after the great financial crisis. So there's no telling how long this will take for the reset in real estate here as well. But that's already being confirmed as well. Equity's starting to fall off. Equity's starting to get pinched. And the bond market leading the way. As bond rallies go, we just had a failure of a 30-year treasury auction. That's the treasury trying to issue 30-year bonds. Nobody wants them. Gee, were we saying that last year or what? God bless you guys for being in here. Now, comment down below. How long have you guys been with me? Are you guys brand new here? If you haven't subscribed, if you haven't hit the notification bell, you better do that. And then we better tap it. We better smack it. We better do something with that thumbs up. And how long have you been here? Let me know how long you've been here. But last year, were we not saying when they started QT, quantitative tightening, Fed's going to offload their balance sheet, nobody's going to buy this crap? And sure enough, we just had a 30-year treasury auction failure. That's right. How long have you guys been here? Let me know in the comments down below. God bless all of you. Now, is it fun to be right? Is it fun to call them out? Is it fun to make a tweet and a little TikTok and to say, oh, we were right? Yes. What are we here for? We want to see dang price action. I get it, folks. It is coming. Remember, we just crashed all of the exchanges that traded XRP after we got the ruling from Judge Torres. We broke the whole system. That's the power of XRP. We're just getting started, folks. Relax. It's coming. Trillions upon tens of trillions are coming into this space. Do you think that it's going to all this other crap, all these other programs that have been a complete failure? No, absolutely not. And the problem that they have now is we've really exposed them. I'm going to show you guys a couple tweets here. We got Mr. Huber. We got Steven Narioff, our Ethereum whistleblower. The community stays over the target. And what we get to do is apply some more pressure. And this is actually going to be a part of forcing the price action, forcing the discovery of the fair market value of these assets. Let's set them free. Now we have the SEC out of our way. Now let's really open this thing up. And I'm gonna be making a separate video. Thank God the XRP Ledger developers have introduced an Ethereum virtual machine sidechain so that we can bring all of the Ethereum, the token factory, at least what's legit of it, we can now bring it on over. And we don't really want to bring the scammers. There's plenty of scammers in the ERC20 token factory. But with the Ethereum virtual machine, you're going to be able to bring all the smart contracts that have already, had a lot of testing, a lot of runtime over on the Ethereum system, now get to run through and settle on XRP. The native asset for the Ethereum virtual machine sidechain is XRP. And so in a separate video, I'm going to be talking about that. But that's a great opportunity because now we're exposing how Ethereum, the program's not working out, but it's also corrupt as hell. And so let's unpack this real quick. Mr. Huber, Lubin's lawyer, JP Morgan, Amber Baudette, Brooklyn Project, Aaron Wright, Jerry Brito, Ethereum's all-star team in an 2015 panel. That would be February of 2015. Half a year before Ethereum was launched. Can you imagine the amount of disguised Ethereum ICO holdings sitting at that panel? Oh boy, you bet you. You're talking about Joseph Lubin. Joseph got a hold on to the elbow Lubin. JP Morgan, Amber Baldette, of course. Of course the JP Morgan boys showed up. Of course the JP Morgan boys have been in crypto. Of course they've been playing with you. As they go long, they go short, they manipulate this market just like they do gold and silver as well. And Brooklyn Project Aaron Wright, all part of the team that really pushed this thing together with Jerry Brito, Ethereum's all-star team in 2015, half a year before Ethereum was launched. Can you imagine the disguised Ethereum ICO holdings? Now, we get a response here from Steven Narioff. Fascinating coincidence that the same month Vitalik Buterin called me panicked to save Ethereum. Then he left for, I can't say that country. Oh boy. Fascinating coincidence that the same month that Vitalik Buterin called me panicking to save Ethereum. He then left for a country that I don't dare name for a couple of years. Maybe I should have written the detailed restructuring plan I gave him in, oh boy, I better not say that. Steven, sounding off over on the X platform. Look out below. Look out, folks. You know, and this is the thing. Vitalik, where has he been at? He tried to get the internship at Ripple. The little agent boy that he is, he tried to sneak on in at Ripple. And as we've been uncovering, folks, this whole system is about to get cleaned up. The Wolf of All Streets, Scott Melker, shares this. The audio recording of Caroline Ellison's November 9 all hands on meeting. Must listen. So this is basically the day after the November 8th SBF sacrifice on the lunar eclipse, as we predicted the event would be coming in. November 8, 2022. Absolutely sacrificing Sam Bankman-Fried. On November 9th, the all-hands-on meeting with Caroline Ellison at the helm, and it's unbelievable. I'm not going to play it. But it's unbelievable what's getting exposed out right now. Steven Narioff is not done. He is not done at all. He says this about Vitalik. This child was set up as a figurehead and marketed as a false prophet, taking from the masses, holding back crypto for the fraudulent personal gain of him and his cohorts. Let me repeat, guys, this is what I've been saying, is that this Ethereum free pass didn't just make, a few guys rich, right? It held back humanity. It held back the American crypto market. And it held back the broader humanity as a whole, because as America's capital markets moves, the rest of the world moves as well. Now, the rest of the whole world is essentially leaving us behind. They've already adopted crypto regulations, and all the crypto money is basically leaving the United States. Ripple doing 80% of their hiring outside of the United States, because we gave a free pass to an agent who does he serve? I think he serves a lot of masters. Little Vitalik. I got to be careful. Little Vitalik guy. Little Vitalik. Little agent. Tried to come in at Ripple. Visa denied. I wonder why they denied his visa. And someone comments this in response, XRP Army News. Steven, these guys did a great documentary on Hex. Ridiculous project, but the documentary was good. They could make a great ETHgate documentary if enough of us ask. And he tags a company that did a documentary on the Hex scam. And that one blew up, didn't it? And Steven responds saying, crazy thing is I was halfway through a documentary, mostly on Ethereum, that I put an enormous sum of my own money into. That footage will be useful. And we were called crazy, whack job, lunatic conspiracy theorists for everything. We were called scammers for just trying to figure out how big the damages were. For trying to understand and put up a defense against the government that attacked us. We were called crazy scammers. This whole red folder conversation. We took an immense amount of crap for this. For talking to lawyers about how to protect our assets. And oh, by the way, we want to do so because we are leading the charge. I'm behind John Deaton and the leaders of this space who are putting up a fight, right, against the SEC that came after us, the bureaucracy beast that has completely been exposed as corrupt. At all of them, much bigger than XRP, much bigger than damages just to the XRP community. We have a little story here that's part of a much bigger, grander conspiracy at that's taking place here, not just within the crypto sector in the Ethereum free pass. That's just another part of the act, right? But in this grand world stage that we're watching here, we got these guys that have literally mafia style gone to take out their enemies, and they allowed all of this corruption and all of this business to occur. But what do they want? We just need a piece of that action. That's what these guys are all about. That's how these guys live by. And Steven Narioff is sounding the alarm on Twitter. God bless him, and may we protect him at all costs. Steven Narioff. Turns out Vitalik Buterin, aka Crypto Judas, secretly wants to be an XRP, but he's so shy he deleted his tweet, which is in this article, stating that XRP is, quote, better sound money than Bitcoin. Oh boy. You don't say so, little Vitalik guy. Little buddy. The XRP is better than Bitcoin. You don't say. I find that incredibly interesting. Coming from the founder of Ethereum. Coming from a guy who tried to get in on Ripple. Little internship. He wanted to be a little developer guy for Ripple. For the big boys. The ones that were going to put a dent in the universe and had a world reserve digital currency. See, if Bitcoin is supposed to be the new world reserve digital currency, and that's what this whole crypto story is founded on, is that Bitcoin's going to be the new reserve currency, right? But then Vitalik goes to create a smart contract platform with Ethereum after he doesn't get on at Ripple, and he says that XRP is more sound money than Bitcoin. Wait, I thought that XRP was centralized. I thought it was a banker's coin. Well, the banks are going to use it. And that's the little secret about the XRP situation that we're watching unfold in real time, is our victories are being announced. Next, we get a settlement between the SEC and Ripple. They cannot continue to be exposed. They cannot continue to see Steven Narioff sounding the alarm. And they already tried to shut him up. They already tried to frame him. But Steven Narioff's a guy who's been pushed to the point where he knows his life is at stake. And that's the war that we're in the middle of right now. Steven is a patriot. We're in the middle of a war where our lives are at stake. This isn't just about XRP going to 589. Our lives are at stake in this broader war. This is not a game. This is not a meme. Not everyone's going to get on the right side of the transfer of wealth that's already underway. But now that I have outed him, he can be free to be he, she, or XRP. He can be whatever he wants to be. Let's take a look here at this article. Steven Narioff just completely over the target, and he's being relentless, folks. This is unbelievable. He tags this article, and I've actually seen this before. I forgot about this one. February of 2019 from coinspeaker.com. Ripple's XRP is better than Bitcoin, says Vitalik Buterin. Unbelievable. Little Vitalik guy. The co-founder of the second largest cryptocurrency, Ethereum, tweeted about XRP, stating that it is better sound money than Bitcoin. But if any one of you were active on Twitter, social media, you might have come across with Vitalik's opinion on XRP. Excuse me. If not, here's a short coverage on the same. His view on XRP comes as a response to Pierre Rochard's research on Bitcoin's value, where he sums up Bitcoin as the ideal stable coin and summarized it as peak sound money. Interesting to call Bitcoin a stable coin, right? When its transactions take up to an hour or more sometimes. That's not stability in a transaction. That's exposure to volatility for over an hour plus that we don't want with our payments. How's that program going to work out? While responding to what Mr. Rochard said, Vitalik tweeted the following, and that was all about XRP being better than Bitcoin with institutional adoption and partnerships. Wow. Mr. Rochard uploaded a graphic in which he shows the price of Bitcoin compared to Bitcoin itself. Thus, the graphic is just a flat line that is worth one Bitcoin at all times. Vitalik Buterin answered that he believes that Mr. Rochard wanted to use the XRP graphic instead. Buterin said that the XRP graphic would look the same, but it is also sound money. Additionally, he mentioned that XRP has been adopted by several institutions and signed many partnerships around the world. Wow. It's almost like Vitalik Buterin wanted to be on the marketing team for Ripple, right? Just sound enough about how great Ripple is and the institutional adoption and partnerships that we got. Let's be honest, Ripple and XRP are extremely popular entities, and the increased media attention is mostly due to their achievements, partnerships, and plans. As we already know, Ripple's primary goal is to overcome SWIFT, which has become the traditional payment systems adopted by banks and financial institutions for decades. But SWIFT is pretty old, really old, and incredibly old. And it is issues regarding the speed of transactions, cost, and more. These problems are what Ripple wants to eliminate, offering users flawless, fast, secure, and cheap transactions. And as I covered in my most recent video, the final ingredient to the secret sauce that is the XRP Ledger and XRP is the automated market makers. That's what the secret sauce is. The final ingredient to the secret sauce is the AMM. Your ability to build out and be a part of building out the best liquidity in the world. You'll be able to put up your XRP into a liquidity pool that's simply just XRP to US dollars, XRP to USDC, XRP to USDT, right? Tether. And what we see right now is only two validators have voted to pass the amendment so far. We might not get AMM for a couple years. You have to understand, remember, it took, I think, well over a year, almost 2 years for us to get NFTs, XLS20, to actually pass as an amendment. It took up to 2 years. And so we could see something similar here, or hopefully it'll happen here sooner. Ripple thinks that it's good to go. David says that it's good to go. So if David says it's good to go and Ripple has voted in favor of it, I would assume that it's going to be good to go, right? It's time to send it. If Ripple, one of the key builders on the XRP Ledger, thinks that it's good to go with trillions on the line for Ripple, they have the most at stake. And that's what you have to understand about. Everybody wants to FUD out Ripple and how much XRP they got, and they're just going to dump on us. Well, part of having that much XRP is you have to be a responsible custodian. And if you want to actually offload that XRP, you have to do so in a way working with market makers to actually not impact the price as much as you would if you were just dumping XRP, like someone like Jed McCaleb, who just simply went to the market, set up his sell orders, and ended up selling $9 billion worth of, or 9 billion XRP, and not being included in the SEC lawsuit, by the way. How interesting. Little sneaky Jed McCaleb from Stellar. Little Jed McCaleb and his little deal, selling 9 billion XRP, but he's nowhere to be found in the lawsuit. But what we have now is that Ripple's going to be able to bring their on-demand liquidity over to the XRP Ledger DEX. Let me make this simple for you guys to understand, right? Just like Bitcoin, you have a decentralized exchange for swapping Bitcoin, right? Actually, there is no DEX on Bitcoin. I'm mistaken in saying that, right? You have a DEX on the XRP Ledger where you can swap XRP for any issued asset. We will be building liquidity pools for each one of these currency pairs between XRP and every issued asset on the XRP Ledger. And so we already see, Bitcoin, Ethereum, all these other currencies are going to be coming to the XRP Ledger. What we're now excited to see, though, Ripple had been running on-demand liquidity, which is the settlement that takes place using the XRP token, right? Using XRP. It was happening at centralized exchanges, and it didn't have a big impact on price of XRP because of that. And all of Ripple's sales of XRP are over the counter. So if you're wondering why is XRP still at 50 cents after we have clarity, after we have all this good news, why are we still at 50 cents? Because all of the buy orders that have been coming from institutions from Ripple have been happening over the counter, meaning they're not reflected in the retail public DEX, the public retail exchanges, and the markets that we're seeing, the market orders that we get to see. That's the whole thing about over the counter, is it's not tracked, right? And you have additional ways that these institutions can get exposure through options contracts as well. Ripple had been running the on-demand liquidity through centralized exchanges, but now, and the reason is because there wasn't enough liquidity built out on the public DEX yet, right? There's only so much, liquidity on the public DEX for XRP. And that can be stretched and that can be tested, but there's only so much right now. And it's really not that much in the grand scheme of things, right? And Ripple's only been doing about 10 billion plus per year on their on-demand liquidity, about 30 billion over the last couple years Pretty incredible, but they're just getting started. Now, though, with the AMM feature, it allows them to source liquidity from that AMM on the XRP Ledger DEX. And so this is where we'll start to see the price impact on XRP, the native asset, because you're going to be using XRP paired up with all these other currencies, and that liquidity is going to be moving onto the public DEX. And then you're going to start to see more and more institutions looking to get access to that liquidity as they start to know that they have to move into this future financial system, right? It's no longer an option to be offering settlement times of 1 week plus, of settlement fees of 5-10% plus, right? The world is in demand of an alternative reserve, and they also want a system for settlement that is neutral as well. This is the secret sauce that is the XRP ledger using the native currency XRP, is because you have a ledger that's built out to handle basically everything that you need to do for payments and moving value. And then you have a reserve currency in the form of XRP that can serve as that alternative reserve. It can be added to your balance sheet as something that you're going to hold on to. And then you can also have some XRP that you're going to use, that you're going to put up for an AMM. And that's why I dropped the video this morning, passive income on XRP. That was kind of one of the first breakdowns that I've done on the automated market maker and how we're going to be able to leverage our XRP without selling it to get passive income. And that's going to be a great opportunity for the XRP community that's been watching the rest of the space do DeFi. 90% of that DeFi failed and was Ponzi schemes, and it's all collapsing and failed. But the appetite for being able to beat what the bank is giving you, which is essentially nothing for your deposits, for your savings, being able to go to these AMMs and being able to get, up to 5% plus for your XRP liquidity pair. And you can add to both sides of the liquidity pair. So you can add your US dollars, you could add your Tether, you could add your Bitcoin to that liquidity pair. And it's going to, source that liquidity for the whole ecosystem is going to be running through the same liquidity pool. I was mistaken thinking that Ripple was going to have their own AMMs that we weren't going to be able to tap into. But the way the AMM works is it's one liquidity pool for each currency pair. So XRP to Bitcoin, one liquidity pool. XRP to US dollars, one liquidity pool. And what I'm going to be watching for closely, I'll give you guys this right now, is I'm going to be watching the corridors where on-demand liquidity is already flowing. Those currency pairs, whether that's Philippine peso, whether that's all these other countries, 40 plus countries that now have XRP on-demand liquidity live, right? 5 BRICS nations already have on-demand liquidity live. And essentially the whole continent of Africa has access to RippleNet XRP through MFS Africa partnership that was announced last year. And we haven't had many partnerships announced for the last year, actually. We got a few at the end of 2022, but it's going to be interesting to see what partnerships and what new institutions have come to XRP, have added it to their balance sheet, are going to start to use it, as we really haven't gotten any announcements this year. And it's not possible for a company to go from adding, all these partnerships in the middle of a lawsuit, adding 400 banks and institutional partners in the middle of all this, for them to just go to zero, right? So they're going to lift the veil on what's been happening behind the scenes, and all of the liquidities coming to XRPL DEX. We are going to see price action. That's for sure. That's for sure. And on top of that, we're going to see all the traditional money is about to get ready to pour into the space as well. And this is an incredible opportunity. Let me get in some Q&A, guys. Thank you so much for joining me here tonight. If you appreciate our content here, can we please smash that thumbs up? It really helps by liking the videos. And then if you are new here, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I'm excited to, see what comments, questions you guys have here tonight. Let's get your Q&A rocking and rolling. I appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. I'll double check and make sure there wasn't anything else that I need to cover. Bitcoin back up to 26,933 at the time of this recording. XRP at 48.5 cents. Watching this one closely. Let me take your questions. Let me take your comments. God bless all of you guys. Thank you so much for joining me here tonight. Okay, good question. Ryan Gibson says, boy, I'd really like to know the current price of XRP on the private ledger right now. It's the same. The price of XRP on the private ledger is the same. Okay. David Schwartz answered that question already for us. And he explained that the price of XRP is the same on the private ledger as it is on mainnet XRP. It is the same. Yeah. Now, they have been running tests and simulations. This is where they're now touting 3,400 transactions per second for the XRP ledger. That's because you have Ripple developers and others that are running simulations and tests in kind of more perfect environments where they're actually starting to push the TPS. But recall, Miguel Valles back in the day said that XRPL was going to be able to do 50,000 TPS. And that was back when Miguel Valles was still here, which was like 2018, 2019. So 4 or 5 years ago, Miguel Valles, head of XRP markets for Ripple, was already touting, tens of thousands of TPS for XRP. Excuse me. So, with Interledger protocol that's going to be doing trillions of transactions per second, I'm not so worried about the TPS. That's not going to be a problem. That's not going to be a hindrance, really, because these other markets are going to have interoperability with the XRP ledger. And these other currencies and these other assets are going to be represented on the XRP ledger through issued assets. That's what's coming to the XRPL. Thank you. Great question, though. The XRP private ledger, that's where they're running a lot of tests, a lot of simulations. 3,400 TPS is what they're kind of touting right now, up from 1,500 TPS. But I'm not worried about the TPS. I think that'll be no problem for us. They can run simulations of XRP at a higher price, though. You would be creating another asset, though. You would be creating it's kind of like XRP Plus, right? For the Zahao side ledger, right? You're creating a whole nother test currency. Just like they're creating kind of a test sidechain smart contracts platform. In the private ledger, you could create kind of a test XRP where you could be running XRP at 10,000 per XRP to kind of see what you can do and accomplish when the asset is at that price. Yeah. The higher the price goes, the more liquidity we'll be able to provide. And, that's why I think that we easily achieve some of these conservative predictions. And I want you guys to be prepared for these conservative predictions. And it's okay to dream about the bigger ones. And when I talk about conservative price predictions for XRP, I'm not ruling out crazy stuff that we talk about for XRP. Whether you think crazy for XRP is $50, whether you think it's 589, whether you think it's 50,000. I'm excited to be on the journey with you guys as we find out how high XRP is going to go, how high gold and silver are going to go. What I'm excited for right now is their ability to suppress these assets is falling apart. And so we had gold, Bitcoin, and XRP all rally here today. Will the rally be sustained? We'll watch this one closely. But we rallied last week as well for gold and oil. We did the same thing today. Gold, oil, XRP, and Bitcoin all pumping today. Your thoughts on XDC? It's a really massive utility, a great company behind it. The community's pretty strong. I'm excited to see what XDC's been working on. I need to do an updated XDC deep dive. I've already done one, but I need to do an updated XDC deep dive, or at least just do an update on XDC because I know they've been up to a lot. I know Quincy Jones has been up to a lot. We already had Quincy on. And so, yeah, we're due for an XDC update. Absolutely. But do I hold any XDC right now? I don't think I do. No, I do. I have a little bit of XDC. That's right. I got a little bag. It's one that I had sold off at a loss, rolled it all into my trading bag. And that's what I've been, shorting Bitcoin with. And I've made money over the last year shorting Bitcoin. So I've grown that back up, and then I added back to my XDC bag at a lower position or a lower price. And so I was able to get my position back. That was how I was able to trade to get my XDC bag back. Yeah, over the last year. I have a small bag of XDC though, small bag of XLM, big bag of XRP, and ready to move right now. Right now, I think that you guys see what I'm doing. I'm one of the most transparent in the space. I've been talking about getting our cash ready to buy real estate, to buy businesses. Our competition's about to close, turn the key on their business. They're ready to give it up. And so this is an opportunity. If you're already in business, you can buy out your competition. You can buy out others, in your same sector, industry. And then for those of you that are already working a job and your boss doesn't have an exit plan or doesn't have an exit strategy, doesn't have children that want to take over the business, this is your opportunity. So just like I started out this episode at the very beginning, I said, if you're willing to learn, hopefully we can protect your bag. If you're willing to take action and put in work, you're going to be able to build generational wealth if you're able to survive. And I say that while I pray to God that we survive, because this crap's hitting the fan. This is not a joke, right? I smile because I try to lighten the mood up as we have an adult beverage on a Friday night session, and I try to keep it light. But this isn't a game. It's already, take a deep breath. It's already here. It's already happening. And crypto getting cleaned is just one part of it. But this is going to be our final opportunities to pick up your bags. I've mostly stacked my XRP. I might take a look at a couple other cryptocurrencies. I'm looking at real estate in a major way. I'm looking at businesses right now. This is what's going to provide cash flow. This is the assets that we can hold on to for decades to come. In the meantime, I also keep a trading bag ready. And unfortunately, Qcoin found out that I was in the United States. So I'm still so mad about this, guys. It makes me so mad. Why do we not have futures trading here in the United States? I know that we have a few. It's very hard. And depending on what state you're in, it's even more difficult to be using these. And I know you can use VPNs and do all this and that. What I worry about is getting locked out. And I would put out this warning to you guys right now that are thinking about trading, that are playing with these exchanges. These exchanges are not your friends. Go listen to, the FTX saga, the drama that's taking place with FTX. These exchanges are not your friends. I like Uphold. They've seemed to be very reputable, very transparent, very on the up and up, right? Huge shout out to Uphold. And if you want to buy from Uphold, I got the link for their website is down below. And it also is at my website, ZachRector.com. If you want the exchanges that I use, I was trading through Qcoin. They found out I was in the US. They shut me down. Right now, I'm looking for another exchange to trade. I was looking to short Bitcoin last week when it was at 28,000. So I sit here today, butthurt, because I wasn't able to get a short in. Market's back down here below 27,000. We get a pump today based off of the news that the SEC is taking and accepting that big fat L on Gary Gensler, on the SEC, a big fat L. And they choose to back down. I thought they were so bold. I thought they had such a strong case. And the whole time in the Ripple case, it was like the lawyers, couldn't even make the case they were trying to make with a straight face. Good thing the conference call was happening over telephone and it wasn't being reported live for us to see, because I'm sure they had I don't want to cuss, a poop-eating grin on their face as they made their case for the SEC that was an absolute joke. I'm trying to keep it clean, even though we're having a little bit of secret sauce. So I apologize if I swear. This is when we get into the late night session, so we might slip up. But let's keep it real. This is an absolute joke. And I'm so excited to see that the SEC is getting reined in. We're going to get Jim Jordan, or we're going to get someone who's a little bit more on the conservative spectrum of political leaning. And are we ever going to bring accountability to DC? I put out a tweet just the other day. I'll show you guys the tweet that I put out here. And I was calling out, and I tagged some of these guys, Bill Huizenga, congressman, politician. And let me find this tweet for you guys. Are we ever going to get accountability? And I retweeted Eleanor Terra here. Representative James Comer threatens to subpoena power over Gary Gensler and the SEC in his latest letter. Let's get it done. That was my retweet. Let's get it done already. Why are we still waiting here? Issue the subpoena. Gary Gensler's clearly doing a dance. Shoot, did I skip over it? Putting out so many tweets, I lost it. Let me see if I can find it here real quick. Here's my post. And I can't say that country, right? And the post that I retweeted got deleted. Go figure. And the whole post, what was it about? It was about the who was all tied to Ethereum. That's so funny. The post is unavailable. Of course it is. It was a post here. This is the post. This page doesn't exist. Look at this. Look at this censorship in real time from Boring Sleuth on Twitter. And I said, this country's infiltration into our capital and crypto markets is well documented and not healthy. A lot of scams. Ethereum and Bitcoin, just a couple of them. Will our elected leaders ever hold the bureaucrats who sold us out accountable? And I tagged our good friend, the Ethereum whistleblower, Steven Arioff. Huge shout out to Steven. I tagged our good friend, John Dean. God bless him. We stand behind you, John. Always. And I tagged Representative Bill Huizenga. You know, let's get something done. And I tagged Patrick McHenry as well. Let's get something done. When are we going to get any accountability? The infiltration into our capital markets and the corruption is blatant as can be. Bought and paid for, these three-letter bureaucracy agents, and they take care of their buddies, the backroom deals. We got it all tracked. It's on blockchain, and that's what that post was about that got deleted. And I wonder why it got deleted, because it exposed the whole dang thing. How it all goes, you know, or at least a part of it, goes back to that country who has infiltrated us from within. Our capital markets and our crypto story and the crypto narrative as well. And funny enough, now that country that I don't dare name wants to become the crypto hub, the crypto capital of the world over there in Shenzhen. They want to turn Shanghai, they want to turn their country into the capital of cryptocurrency in the world. They're stacking a bunch of gold. They've been making moves. Their economy's in trouble. Real estate market in trouble. Country Garden, we covered it. Evergrande, we've covered it. Missing the bond payments there. Filing for bankruptcy. Not good. Not good. Their economy, their propped up economy was almost just as fake as ours, if not more, with what all that was going on over there. But I better be quiet. I better be quiet, right? As we talk about such sensitive topics. Let me get your questions. Let me get your questions, guys. Thank you so much. Brad, you're spot on with it. We really need that accountability, and justice needs to be served. Let all truth be revealed. Why do you think that everything's popping off right now? Right? What perfect timing. 50-year anniversary of the Yom Kippur War, and we set it off once again, and so much to cover. And where are we at once again in the cycle of inflation? Getting ready to take off once again, just like we did in the 70s. And what did the commodities do during the 70s? They went absolutely nuts. Not to be confused with a crypto meme coin that pumped. No, but gold went up 2,200% during the 70s. During the 7-year period after the Yom Kippur War, up from basically $40 to almost 900 per ounce. Oil from 5 to 50. That's a 10x. You know, that's a 10x for oil over a 7-year period after the Yom Kippur War. Now we see oil back up today. We see gold back up today. And a little Bitcoin, XRP, and crypto pump today. Based off of the news that the SEC is backing down. The SEC is losing jurisdiction. The SEC is getting called out for being capricious, right? Losing their faithful allegiance to the law in the Ripple case. They're getting completely exposed. They decide not to go back after Grayscale. That's incredible. We love to see that. But we still know that they can delay the ETF approval. Don't say too much, bro. Dogwood, I know. We got to be careful these days, don't we? The only safe space that I find right now is in my Discord group with the Patreon exclusive I've been dropping and the Discord community calls that we have every Saturday. The conversation is going to be moving over there more. It's unfortunate, but that's what we have to do to protect ourselves and insulate ourselves against our communities under attack right now. We're forced to take a defensive posture. Not just because the SEC sued Ripple, came after all of the XRP community, but it goes much deeper than that as well. Shannon said, there she is, Shannon. God bless you, Shannon. Shannon was the one that wanted a live tonight, and I knew that the community needed a live tonight, and she was going to drink Malbec. I'm drinking Pinot Noir, and I am slowly sipping mine. Might have to get another glass. What do you guys say? Friday the 13th. It's unbelievable what they've unleashed on us. We try to find some peace as we sip a glass of wine. Still drinking cheap stuff, by the way. I say Pinot Noir like it's fancy. Guys, no. I only buy a nice bottle if I'm going to give it as a gift. We're still drinking cheap stuff because we're in the middle of a bear market recession. I did eat ramen for lunch. That's the real me. That's the real story here. Is I'm in a warlike posture. I ate some ramen today. We still drink some cheap wine. We try to enjoy ourselves, and we're making moves every single day, folks. We're not going to back down. We're not going to give up. We're not going to fold. We're not going to bend over. We have the facts on our side. We got the truth on our side. We're going to have a lot of fun doing it too. I turn up every single day with enthusiasm and passion for what we're doing, for the fight that we're in, for what we're building out. See, it's an incredible opportunity what we're going to be doing. The power of our community, guys. For those of you that are going to make it through, do we have 1,000 people in the chat like we did during the bull run? No. We're only maintaining 300 in the chat here tonight. It's a late night session. What is it? 8:43 on the West Coast. So it's almost 9 o'clock on the West Coast, almost midnight on the East Coast. For the real ones that are turning up, and there's going to be many people that watch this tomorrow as well. But are we popping off like we were in the bull run? No. But where's everybody else at? Ain't that something else? How all these guys, the talking heads on Twitter, on TikTok, the Trust Me Bros, where did they go? Where did the Trust Me Bros go? XRP Shaman 10 spot. I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate the love. For real, just keep stacking. That's what we do, Eric. We're not backing down. Not backing down at all. Yep. Ramen and Noir, but Zach still comes. Corrector. XR Peaky Blinder, I appreciate you, brother. God bless you. That's what we do. That's what we do. That ramen's crap, man. The ramen that the cheap little, 60 seconds, or no, 3 minutes. You got 3 minutes. That's terrible crap for you. Right? It's terrible, but it's bear market. We got to grind. You got to remind yourself. And I guess it's illegal now to eat, you're going to be limited on how much red meat you can eat. We appreciate you. So much love in the chat. God bless all of you guys. Thank you so much. Where are you guys coming from? What do you guys want to see next? We got real estate updates to bring you guys, precious metals updates to bring you guys. Those videos don't do as well, but I don't care. We've already dropped 3 videos. This is our 3rd video today, along with not even including our shorts. We're just getting started. Our content is about to ramp up to levels you guys have never even seen before. Other than these other top content creators that have gone all in, we're about to take the next step to push out educational content to help everyone, because I want you guys to have real business and investing skills. Because it's one thing to make a little bag off of XRP, make it off of Dogecoin, get lucky one time, win the lottery. But why do all these lottery winners go broke, right? Sudden wealth syndrome is because they don't have a plan. They're not real builders. They're not real entrepreneurs, business owners. They don't do due diligence to find real investments. This is where we're about to really put it out there for all of you guys to learn, to get educated. And if you want to take some action, you might be able to build some wealth, God willing. Like I said, at the bare minimum, I'm just trying to save some folks, just protect their bags, maybe consider not allowing your financial advisor to keep you in the same investments that had one of the worst years ever last year, set to have another historical bad year. Maybe we should consider a different program. Maybe we should find out what questions we need to ask our financial advisor. Let me be clear. I'm not here to be your financial advisor. I will never be your trader. I will not, watch out for the scammers. I'm not here to DM you. I won't DM you at all. Please check our disclaimers that we're now going to be running with. No DMs. It's all at my website, ZachRector.com. It's only in the Patreon Discord group. It's shutting down. It's all getting closed off. It's all getting KYC'd. If you want to come to the after party, if you want to get the secret sauce, we have to know who we're dealing with. Our community's under attack. And we're up against some folks that are attacking from multiple angles. It's unbelievable. Full-time team to block, report, and protect the community, and we're not getting much love from the platforms. That's what's unfortunate. Aunt Lynn, 10 spot. Zach, can we do a deep dive into the future of silver? Thanks, love you. Aunt Lynn, I just shared, if you look back, what was the title of the video called? I forget what it was called. Let me take a look at this one. We just talked about precious metals in one of our most recent videos. Investment of a generation, that's what it was. So I dropped this video 1 day ago, right? Investment of a generation. Yeah, that was yesterday morning. Investment of a generation. That one I actually talk about silver and we talk about precious metals. Aunt Lynn. So that's my most recent update where I talk about precious metals a little bit more in depth. You can check that one back from yesterday. But we can do a future deep dive. It's one of those things where it's just like XRP. It's just like gold. I got my gold guy says that gold's going to go to 50K. Jim Rickard says that gold can go to 10,000, 15,000. There's conservative predictions that say that gold can go to 3,000 to 5,000 over the next couple years. I'm ready to have some fun and find out with you guys. Sounds like a good time to me. With silver, you got conservative predictions all the way up to $50, right? Easily. By a lot of metrics, by a lot of folks who study precious metals and the relationships between the two, the historical ratio brings silver back up to like 40, 50, 60 bucks easily. Conservative numbers, the historical ratio of gold to silver. And even if we get close to that ratio, we move up significantly for silver. So doing a 2 to 3x for silver looks to me like it could easily be done if we just correct back to historical levels. Now, everybody gets mad at me when I give conservative price predictions as if I'm outlining, disregarding the fact of these crazy price predictions of 3-digit silver at $100 or 1,000 silver. I never, bake my cake with that expectation for sure within the next year. Never have done that. Never have said that, right? Do I think it's okay to talk about some of those predictions? Yes. Because we have a lot of value that gets rolled over to a new system, and a lot of the value gets moved back to the real assets and the real commodities, and we find out what the fiat funny money US dollar is going to be worth over the next decade. And if you think that it's going to be the same as it was worth yesterday, you're sadly mistaken. When we run with the CPI lie, just like we got this week, year over year change is 3.7% for inflation. Last year, we peaked out at 9.1% inflation. That is a lie. Real inflation is double that. And when you compound the inflation, it's even worse. It's 20% plus inflation for anything that matters. And it can be a whole lot more. And when you look at what commodities did after the last Yom Kippur War 50 years ago, if you look at what happened after the last Jubilee year, if you look at what happened after the Shemitah cycle that occurred during that time, and the historical monetary transition of Nixon taking us off the gold standard in 71, just like we're experiencing right now, where the rest of the world is going to asset-backed currencies, is going to real value, real commodities. Well, currency commodity war well underway. What happened was 10x's plus. We had a 10x for oil, and we had a 20x for gold. What are we going to do this time? Hey, let's have a good time finding out. And we're going to have to be able to ride out the storm because we're going through a storm to find out. The 70s was a rough go at it. I hadn't been born. That was well before my time. But I hear stories, right? My great-grandparents lived through the Great Depression. My great-grandfather served in World War II. That's who I looked up to. World War II, from the ground up, literally from the ground up. No debt. Going through the Depression made you unwilling to take on much debt. You paid for everything cash. You saved money. You passed away, God rest their souls, with cash. Now, here's the thing. I came from hard work. I came from being a good person. I didn't come from money, though, right? All I got handed down to me when I started my business was a hand-me-down pick-me-up truck, which is something. Absolutely. Grateful for that. That's what I come from. From the ground up, we build it. From the ground up, we bring value to our community. And that's what brings us around full circle to where we're at right now. Now is your opportunity to be that shining light within your community. Where folks look at you and say, wow, he's not full of fear. He's not backing down. He's not bending over. What's he so damn excited about? Why is he walking, with his head up, smile on his face, still having a good time? Because we're building. We've been building. And we knew this was coming, even though we were called crazy for doing so. How's your program working out? Not being a crazy lunatic whack job conspiracy theorist. Not working out too well, is it? God bless you guys for joining me on here this tonight's session. XR Peaky Blinder. Grab another glass, Mr. Red. XR Peaky, God bless you, brother. He says, grab another glass, Mr. Red Folder, Bitcoin shorter. It's already almost midnight. What's another 20 minutes? 5-spot super chat. I appreciate you guys for helping me out. You guys know my deal. I put everything that I can, I put out on public. I probably should have held back on some of the information. Now I try to keep everything as tight as possible, but I still share too much probably. And in an effort of being transparent, that's why I do it. And then I get on a Friday Night Live and then I really slip up. That's why you guys stay here on a Friday Night Live as we break this whole situation down, right? Here's the simple is I've kept my program simple, and my program doesn't involve 4-hour work week. If you think that this is going to be a 4-hour work week program, you're not going to make it. Okay. Now, you might be able to have a little side hustle that makes a little side cash. I want to build generational wealth. There's two different things. I understand the necessity, and in fact, the jobs numbers that just came out show us that more Americans than ever before in history have a second job. Why are they doing that? Because the American dream is dead. No matter what Powell says to us, no matter what the suits say to us, no matter what Jamie Dimon says to us, right? We understand what's taking place on Main Street. And you bet, credit card debt at $1 trillion. This thing's going bust in real time, right? But for us, our community, we can step up to the plate right now. We can find opportunities. We can protect the wealth that we've already bagged up. We got ourselves a little bag. We got ourselves a little real estate. Maybe you have a little business. Wait, maybe you got a job, but you see an opportunity to get a raise at your job, to get a promotion, or what I really think a lot of people should take a look at. You know your job, you know how to run the business, and your boss, the business owner, doesn't have an exit strategy. He doesn't have kids that are going to take over the business. You can be his exit strategy. You step in, he or she, and you can take over the business, and you can do an option to buy out that business that you work for. Now, this might sound crazy to a lot of folks, and a lot of folks aren't meant to be a business owner, to be an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship is not for everyone. This is not participation trophy economy anymore. This is not 4-hour work week anymore. And yeah, you can achieve something in 4 hours, but for someone who's, a young fella, relatively speaking, still young-ish, I feel like I'm getting very old now, but relatively speaking, I'm still a young buck, I guess. All day, every day. Only thing that pulls me away from my work is the family. Only thing. Very simple. How many hours can I squeeze out of every day with my family and within my business? What can we build today? What connection can we make today? The relationships that we've been building out during this bear market are going to be taking us through this great run up, this great transfer of wealth. And I'm so excited to bring the community along with me, The opportunities that we're finding are massive. And for you guys, you're seeing that I just call out the BS when I see it. If something gets me excited and turns me on, you're going to know. And not much does. XRP, silver, gold, investing in my own businesses that I know I can always get a return out of. That's what gets me excited. That's what gets me waking up every single day excited to get to work. That's what gets me excited, knowing that I can take care of my family. And God willing, we can set an example and we can get other folks in our community to step up to the plate as well too. This is how we beat inflation. See, you want to talk about saving our country? That's a battle too. You want to talk about just surviving inflation? This is how we do it. We're in a war. We'll see how bad it gets. As I shared as in a Patreon exclusive, because the topic is so sensitive and because media is going to be coming under incredible scrutiny because of the situations underway, because we're in an election cycle. More of my content, I'm going to be dropping Patreon exclusives like a lot. A lot of the conversation has to move over there because of the scrutiny that we're now going to be coming under. And what I can say publicly, I will share as much as possible, but you guys understand where I'm coming from and what we're up against right now. Now I see we get a massive super chat from Stuart here with 100 spot. You're doing a great service to keeping the community, Zach, keeping the people focused, karma. Ignore the BS and hold, folks. I can smell the finish line. Stay positive. That's what we're here to do. Let me grab another glass of wine here, and we're going to get into it because I'm going to come back and I'm going to give you guys a little bit more positivity because that's what our community needs. Not just hopium. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you guys just want hopium? Do you guys just want some clickbait that XRP is still going to go to 589 tomorrow? Or as I suspect, as the adults in the room in the XRP community has set itself apart, do you guys want the real strategies, tactics, and the type of deals that I'm going to be looking at, that I'm going to be taking advantage of during this bear market? And when the bull market occurs, then we just get to pour more fuel on the fire that we already got cooking, that we're already stoking. We're already working with something. And when XRP goes to $5 to $10 to 589, then we get to have a little bit of a party as well. Let me go grab another glass, another adult beverage, and let's turn up here tonight, guys. If you haven't already, let's smash it. Let's share it out far and wide and share it out and let everyone know I'm grabbing another glass of wine. We're going to be turning up. This is a Q&A session. We've already been live for an hour and 22 minutes, but that's what we do. We're still here in the bear market recession while all these other guys have gone into hiding. They've taken the money, ran to the hills because a lot of them are frauds and scams. But then the rest of the space, where are they at? They're gone. They don't know what to do right now. We're putting together a program that's easy for you guys to understand, that's simple. It's up to you guys to execute on. And I appreciate everyone for pulling up here tonight. As we have a good time, we put a smile on our face and we enjoy ourselves while we pray for peace. While we pray for peace. Let me go get another adult beverage. I'll be right back. I appreciate everyone for tuning in. Give me just 17 seconds. I'll be real quick. And we are back in action. We are back in action. God bless all of you guys. What are the good news from this live tonight? I had a power outage. Okay, Martin. Yeah, we've already been live for over an hour. A lot of good news. The first, part of the news that we covered was about 45 minutes or so. So you can rewatch that tomorrow. Hang out with us live, but you can set it and maybe rewatch it tomorrow morning on the way back. But we're running it back. Brenda, good to see you. Dex, we are one generation from losing America, so we must keep strong. Absolutely. We must keep strong. Absolutely. Sean O'Malley says, love a good dose of hopium. I know, man. I know. And that's why I'm trying to lighten it up. It's like on one end, I'm dropping just fundamentals on kind of the news, what's taking place, why basically it's so bad, right? And then on the other end, I'm like trying to show guys, the light at the end of the tunnel is there. Like, hang in there. It is there. It's in sight. We are moving in the right direction. And it's really beautiful on the end, right? On the way there, though, we're going to have some fallen soldiers. The greatest transfer of wealth in world history doesn't mean that everybody gets to be on the right side of that transfer. Everybody gets to participate. Everybody gets the participation trophy. But what's your trophy going to say? Did I lose 10% of my wealth? Did I lose 20%? Did I lose 50% of my wealth? As we've seen in other historic crashes. Did we lose 50% of my wealth? Did I lose more? Hopefully not. If you're in the crypto space like me, we've seen our bags go up. We've seen them go down. We're so used to losing money. It's just whatever. We're losing fiat dollars in relation to XRP to US dollar, but we're stacking more of the currency that's actually going to be the reserve currency of the new financial system. So that's a play that we enjoy making. That's no problem. We are not going to be shaken out. We have the truth on our side. We're winning in the legal battlefield. But now we're about to see, after the SEC finally approves an ETF, you're about to see trillions come back in. And that's going to happen next year. Okay. And so the conservative estimates for the next bull run is that we could run back up to about 10 trillion for the overall cryptocurrency market cap. That could be by 2025. Conservative. But you got to ask yourself, where is all that liquidity? Where's all that market cap going to be at? Let's just say we go up to 10 trillion. Let's have fun. We go up to 10 trillion. Where's it going to be at? Is it going to be in tens of thousands of ERC20 tokens with no value, no utility? No. Is it going to be in all these projects that are basically going to get taken out by the SEC and their Operation Choke Point? No, it's not. It's going to be in the assets with legal clarity, with real utility, with real adoption, and with speculation. See, it's like folks think that it's so black and white, where it's either speculation drives price and is only going to be the driver of price, or utility is what's going to drive price. No, it's going to be both. and folks got it twisted when I dropped my XRP final timeline and I said my predictions of, maybe we go to 10, 20 bucks by 2025 during the peak of the next bull run. I think that the next cycle peaks out in 2025. And XRP could be, 10, 20. Okay, we go up to 30 bucks. Okay. That's still a disappointing price prediction for a lot of people. But you have to understand how much sell pressure we're going to have on this asset from folks that have been waiting years for this thing to go through. And how life-changing the prices are at 5, 10, 15, 20 bucks. So there's going to be huge sell-side pressure on the way up. But what I'm excited for is to clean out that speculation. The guys that just have an XRP moon bag, right? And you see it. All the Bitcoin maxis, all the Ethereum guys, even in tonight's episode, Vitalik Buterin saying that XRP is better sound money than Bitcoin. I wonder if Vitalik Buterin has any XRP. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you think that Vitalik has any XRP? That would be fascinating to know. Does Vitalik Buterin have any XRP? He says that it's better sound money than Bitcoin. Why wouldn't he have some XRP? You bet. They all do. And like I've been saying for the last 2 years, Ripple's been selling all of their XRP over the counter to institutions and payment providers, financial partners that for ODL. That's not being reflected in the price of XRP that we're seeing on the public market. because all those transactions are happening over the counter, which over the counter means kind of back door. That's what that means. It's for institutional deals. It's not public exchange. You have to have established relationships with these market makers, exchanges, and broker dealers to execute that over the counter. Okay. And so that's why is XRP still at 50 cents? Well, because all of the adoption that we've got for essentially the last 2 years, i.e. people, institutions, payment providers that are buying over the counter from Ripple, their adoption of XRP is not getting seen. We know that XRP is exiting out of Ripple's wallets and that's being sold off to on-demand liquidity partners. And we're seeing ODL growth rapidly. Like ODL is growing by almost 10x year over year is what we did. ODL grew last year as well, even in the middle of a bear market last year in a recession. ODL still did incredible, about 10 billion in settlement plus. And so we're about to see the liquidity grow in the XRPL DEX after we get the AMM capabilities. And this is going to be part of getting the ability to leverage your XRP without selling, which is what I'm so excited about. The ability to keep XRP, but leverage it into other assets, other businesses, real estate, you name it. And then the ability to just earn basically through staking, DeFi, automated market maker, providing your XRP to liquidity pools, providing your other issued assets to liquidity pools. That's where this goes. We're going to be tapping into the same liquidity pools as Ripple. And that's where XRP starts to go into price discovery mode. And just because I, basis my predictions, because everybody, you guys got to understand, I'm a content creator. Some call me an influencer, call me whatever you want. I'm a guy who makes predictions out here and everybody wants my predictions. And so I was like, okay, I'm not afraid to talk about my expectations. Do I 100% think that XRP goes to $20 in 2025? No, but I think that there's an easy situation that can be done where XRP goes to $10, $20, and $30 during the next bull run. Absolutely. I understand that the market cap bros do the market cap calculation and look at how many trillions would have to be in XRP for it to reach that price. Yes, that's nothing compared to what is coming into XRP and to you not knowing to calculate a different equation for liquidity value than market cap. Just like all these market cap bros, it's such an old way of thinking and it's a wrong calculation for a utility asset like XRP where its main utility is going to be liquidity. It's a completely different calculation versus market cap. So many people fail to understand that. So while we are going to see tens of trillions come into digital assets and get parked in quote unquote market cap as an investment, as a store of value, as whatever you want to call it, gold's at 10 trillion of market cap. The biggest companies, the biggest stocks have achieved like, hundreds of billions and $1 trillion of market cap for some of these companies. And so that's why people say, well, how could XRP have the market cap of Apple, Tesla, and Google? Well, because it's completely bigger. It's a different use case. It's liquidity. You need to compare it to SWIFT. What is SWIFT's market cap? Well, it's quadrillions of value moved on a yearly basis. Do you want to count that as market cap? It's a different calculation. It's 6 trillion moved on a daily basis. Do you calculate that through market cap? No, you don't. It's a completely different calculation. And we're going to be doing and providing this liquidity with an asset that is deflationary, unlike the US dollar, which has been inflated into oblivion. So when we go to do the math, when we go to do the market cap bros, we need to scratch out that equation on market cap, and we need to do the equation for liquidity value, which is how much of the asset do you have? How many tokens, how many currencies do you have? At what price? And available for liquidity that we can move on a daily basis. And that's where we're going to be adding to the value of the underlying asset that you're using to provide said liquidity. And if you think that we're going to be at a 50-cent coin forever, if you think that we'll never achieve all-time high, if you think that XRP can never achieve even double-digit prices, okay. If you think that XRP can't achieve 589, that's fine. But we're going somewhere fun. I firmly believe that. Where else? What's the alternative? What's the alternative? right? All these other programs are not working out. Solana, Ethereum. But lucky for those folks, they can come on over to the XRP Ledger through the EVM sidechain. Let's have a good time. Come on in, just like Brad Kimes' Digital Perspective says. Come on in. We got good liquidity over here. Oh, you want to add your Ethereum to the XRP Ethereum AMM liquidity pool? Have a good time. Yeah. Right now it's paying out 4% rewards. It's paying out 5% interest. Doesn't sound like much, but after we reset and we go to new price discovery levels, we achieve new higher prices, and you're making 5% on an asset that's already had significant price appreciation as well, and continues to have good price appreciation against other said currencies like the US dollar, we got ourselves a little opportunity. We're going to have ourselves a little cash flow. Where do we put it next? Business, real estate, other investments, precious metals. What are we working with, guys? Think about what Zach is saying. Ripple liquidity available with SWIFT at the same time XRP is coupled with XAU or XAU. Absolutely. What we start to see, folks, is all of these assets get represented through issued assets on the XRP ledger. We're talking gold, we're talking silver, we're talking oil. These are going to be essentially derivatives of the underlying assets. And this is why I said we already have a form of derivatives on the XRP ledger because every issued asset is a derivative of the underlying asset for that token, right? You name the token. It's essentially a derivative of whatever the promise is, whatever the story is, whatever the value is behind that token, that issued asset on the XRP ledger. By definition, that is a derivative, right? A derivative is an instrument that represents an underlying asset, commodity, security. That's what a derivative is. We already have that on issued assets on the XRP ledger. So as we start to see, all these currencies come on here, but then they get the liquidity pools start building out through the XRPL DEX. This is when, what do we need exchanges for? We self-custody our crypto. When we want to go find liquidity, we just go to the DEX and we don't have to have any middlemen. We do have a middleman transaction in the liquidity pool going to burn our tokens, and that transaction fee is going to go through. And if you provide your assets to that liquidity pool, you're going to get paid out for providing that liquidity, okay? But you're going to be able to source some of the best liquidity, and you're going to be able to source so much different liquidity because we're going to have so many different currencies, so many different assets brought to the XRP ledger. The question we have to ask is, who is the issuer of the token? So when we go to buy a token that represents gold on the XRP ledger, who's the issuer? Do they actually have gold backing that up? We need to understand how to do due diligence on all of these issued assets, on all of the issuers of these said issued assets. So you see where the work comes in? This isn't going to be just, willy-nilly, happy slappy, we're throwing our money here, we're throwing our money there, and we're making a return. That's not the case. We're going to have to do our due diligence. We're going to have to understand these liquidity pools when they're young, when they're native, young, early stage liquidity pools, and it's not as deep. You can experience some loss. You can actually lose. And we have to have realistic expectations. We're not going to have 589% for your XRP. We're not going to have 50% on your XRP or whatever liquidity pool you're going to be participating in. That's not going to be the case. And if that does come, it won't be sustained. Because just like in all the other DeFi that took place on Ethereum over the last 2 years, who was saying that all of that DeFi was going to fail? Right? And you guys understood that as well. Anybody who understands providing yield, generating yield, we knew that these weren't going to be sustainable, that these weren't going to last. Was it popular to be a content creator saying that, hey, you guys, a lot of this DeFi is not going to last? I'm sorry. I know you want to make 80,000% returns on your time wonderland. It's not going to play out. And there was hundreds of similar DeFi protocols that were offering thousands of percent for staking, for lending, for liquidity pools, for a story, for a trust me, bro. And then they drop by 99% and go to zero because they weren't sustainable liquidity pools. The yield was not generated from anything that was real other than using new money to pay out the old money, a decentralized Ponzi scheme to simplify it down. That's what DeFi was. Now we get legitimate DeFi because do you think that the XRP community is going to get tricked into investing in all these issued assets and all these assets that are going to be just not real, not have real backing? Well, there are going to be some. There always is. There always is. There's thousands of scam tokens got issued on the XRP Ledger already. It's unfortunate. And we called it out from the very beginning. You know, I put out the promise to the XRP Ledger community. If you're building real utility on the XRP Ledger, come on to my show. You have a free spot. You don't have to sponsor me. I don't care to do a deal with you. But I want to talk about your project if you have legitimate utility. Is my phone ringing off the hook? No. That's because there's only a few legitimate projects that have been actually built out on the XRP Ledger, and more are coming. Now that we have legal clarity, now the real businesses can pull up and understand what you're doing and understand not how to break the law. And so the legitimate businesses and institutions and builders are going to be coming to the XRP Ledger. They're going to be dumping Ethereum. If they need to bring their value over to the XRP Ledger, they can use the Ethereum virtual machine sidechain. But we're just going to start to see folks pile into XRP and the top few cryptocurrencies that kind of run the show. But it's not going to be a story of the token factory and everybody's a winner. Everybody gets to participate. Everybody gets to build out a liquidity pool DeFi program where we just print magic money and we all get rich. That's not how this works out. How much XRP is enough? Well, you got to ask yourself, how high do you think XRP is going? And how much money do you want to make? How much money do you got to work with? Everybody's in a different spot. That's why one answer can't be the answer the same for everyone. What we see now, folks find themselves in a serious situation. I understand why folks need to offload at $5 and $10. I understand why folks only want to hold for much higher prices. There's a lot at stake here. If you have the ability to take on risk forever, then you're in a different spot. Like myself, I'm a young guy. I can take on a lot of risk right now. I have a lot of time to build things back up. That's much different from someone who finds themselves trying to protect the wealth that they've already created. A lot of scams in Australia, absolutely. A lot of scams going around. It's really bad. Appreciate you guys tonight. Thank you so much. Jay said, I'll see you in the meeting tomorrow. Yeah, yeah, absolutely, Jay. So every Saturday we have our Discord weekly call. If you guys are looking to get in there, that's over at my website, ZachRector.com. Okay, this is a good question here from Pat. Drop your comments, questions down below. Let me get to it. Let's go rapid fire. It's difficult for non-entrepreneurs to actually feel confident in themselves doing a side business. Being an entrepreneur myself, being an entrepreneur myself, it is easy because of a thoughtful plan to success in a vision and a plan. It takes a long time. You got to get used to getting told no. Getting told, no, I don't want to buy your product. No, I don't want to buy your service. No, I'm not interested. Getting turned down. Not everybody's going to see your vision. Not everybody's going to see your value, right? You got to continue pressing on. And it is a tough time. Here's the beautiful thing though. Right now, everybody else is going into hiding. Your competition is going into hiding. And don't get me started on half the population that is so stupid they can't see the financial tsunami coming that they're just going to get absolutely cleaned out. Don't get me started on them. Good luck. God bless. I hope it works out. They're going to get absolutely cleaned and they have no chance. They're too busy trying to be... Don't get me started. They have no chance. May God be with them. But for the real ones, I understand it is tough as we get started here. It's very tough to get started. That's the big hurdle, right? Most folks are scared to get started with whatever it may be. but you have nothing to lose right now. Everybody understands what's happening, the transition in the world that's taking place. And what folks are looking for is someone who will step up, be proud of the products and services and the value that they're bringing to their community. And it's never been easier to reach an audience, to grow an audience and build a community around your business. It's never been easier. Is it more saturated than ever before? Yes. But the capabilities, tools, and resources that you have at your disposal are better than we've ever experienced before. The decentralized media is also thriving, and it is rewarding the real ones. That's why my program's doing so well. That's why we just hit over 70,000 subscribers on YouTube. Why we just hit over 300,000 subscribers on TikTok. Why we just hit 26,000 on Twitter. We continue to grow our platform because people want real news. People want to listen to real folks. We might not be as polished as CNN. We might get a little sloppy while we're sipping an adult beverage with you guys on a Friday Night Live. I try to keep it as tight as possible and professional as possible while having a good time. And I know that you guys want to hear from a real one. And so for you, you're in this community, you have a business, you have a skill set. We can figure out how to monetize that. We can figure out how to grow that, scale that. We can get you in touch with the right professionals to help you be protected, to help you pay less in taxes, to do everything within the bounds of the law. Lawyers, accountants, other professionals. We got to build out our relationships right now. We can't just rely on ourselves. We don't need to. And it's easier than ever before to find the right team, to find the right partners, and to find the right professionals to help you get across the finish line, to help you build your castle, to help you build your moat. I remember coming back from the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference back in January of this year. One of the first conferences that I actually attended after, becoming kind of a content creator and being someone with a YouTube channel and a media platform. It was the first conference that I went to, Vancouver Resource Investment Conference. It was in January of this year. And I'll never forget the opening segment was from Jay Martin, the host of the conference. Huge shout out to Jay and his platform, incredible platform. He brings in big hitters from across the world. It was a massive conference. And the first section was about building your moat, building your defensive measure first, the moat around your castle, so that you can't be penetrated, right? So that you can't be compromised. You build your moat before you build your castle. And then we get to go on the offense, right? We watch our enemy and we get to go on the offense and we get to trade against these narratives that the masses get primed for. In the retail market, that gets swung this way, swung that way. They have no idea what they're doing. They have no idea how to trade. They have no idea what's taking place in the current events and how to tie this whole thing together with the great timeline that we've been decoding, that we've been breaking down, and that we've actually been getting pretty dang spot on. We've had a few misses, but like I said, everything's still at play. Have we been wrong? No. We've been off on time. We've been wrong on timeline, but everything's still at play. And the beautiful thing about what we've been right about so far has been the legal battlefield. There's been some victories there. The proper party in New York. Let's go turn up. Let's go have a good time. But what we're about to be right on is price discovery. What we're about to be right on is fair market value for XRP not being 48.5 cents as it is right now at the time of this recording on a Friday night, Friday the 13th live. If you haven't already, please smash it. Please, guys, all I ask is that you share our content out far and wide. Who do you know, maybe in your family, maybe in your inner circle, that's ready to get tapped in? Let's bring them on the journey with us. Let's get them tapped in. And you'd be surprised at how many folks there is around that are actually seeking out this information, that want help. That's why we're pressing in right now, is because there's so many new people coming in. I speak at kind of a more advanced level in some of our conversations, but I'm trying to remind myself to bring it back to the basics with some of our content because we have so many new people coming in. And so this is why we're going back to the basics on trading, on investing, on business, on precious metals, on prepping, on how we actually scale up our business, on what skills are not going away in the future economy as we see automation, as we see cheap labor, as we see labor disruptions, labor unions. Ford has now been added to the strike. There is so much disruption underway. This is our opportunity. Like I said, if you're willing to get educated and you're willing to pull up, at the very bare minimum, maybe I can help you save your bag. Maybe I can help you protect your wealth. But what I'm really looking forward to, what I really get excited about, is not making, life-changing money. Life-changing money is going to be fun. XRP goes to $5, $10. It's life-changing. Some of these other digital assets, they pop off too. It's life-changing. That's great. I want to build wealth that's going to carry us through the decades to come and that allows us to hand off something, a better opportunity for our children. That's what this is about. That's my heart. That's where my soul is at with what I'm doing. Is I want to build and leave something behind. I want to build the moat that's indestructible, can't be passed. You can't get over it. You can't get by it. We're going to build a moat. Maybe we'll build a wall, and we're going to build a really big damn castle. And we're going to be able to pass something off to our children, and not because I want them to have a free ride, because I want them to be able to accomplish more than I accomplish. That's the way that I look at this. I don't, you guys are going to work. My children, we're going to work together to accomplish a lot. That's what this is about. You give them a platform. You give them something, a launch pad to take off from. You've already built the launch pad. You've already built the rocket ship. And maybe you don't want to decide where the rocket ship's going to go. I don't care to decide where the rocket ship's going to go, what they want to do. They can follow their heart and passion. But I think that they're going to be just like their daddy and want to get on a rocket ship that's going to help out the community around us as well. That's going to be big enough to take some family and friends with us, to take some community members with us. That's not going to be based off of greed, manipulation, the ways that so many folks built their wealth off of the backs of others with the manipulation, extortion, and corruption. No. Righteous wealth being built that we can be proud of, that we can pass off to our children, that we can pass off to our community. And what I see right now is the sentiment is at an all-time low. Just like I was saying before I went and grabbed another glass of wine. And you bet we're ranting tonight. The sentiment in the community, folks are wearing out, they're breaking down. On TikTok, on Twitter, even in the YouTube comments, I'm seeing it across the board. Folks have been broken down and they are giving up. I feel, sad that a lot of people are going to succumb to the FUD and that a lot of people aren't going to be able to make it. I wish that I could have saved more people. I did a lot to reach as many people as I could over the last 3 years. I did a lot to try to put out content that would still bring in people, even though last year, was it sexy to say that we were in a bear market recession? No. In October and November of 2021, was it sexy to put out a prediction that the bear market was going to begin in December of 2021 and that Bitcoin had topped out on the new moon of December during the last two Bitcoin cycles? And that's why I gave the date of December 4th, 2021 as when Bitcoin was going to top out again and then enter a bear market. Did it top out again? No. Was I wrong on that? Yes. Okay, you got me. I was wrong. We didn't top out again. We topped out in November 10th of 2021 at 69,000. Did we begin the bear market after that on December 4th, 2021? You bet. 40% liquidation event and the bloodshed started to spill. It wasn't popular. It wasn't sexy, but I wanted to save people's bags. And we were just getting started. And now we hear, and I was going to make a separate video talking about the topic of, are you 2 years too late? If you're just now getting on board to understanding that the financial tsunami is hitting, the recession is here. This isn't a joke. This isn't Grandpappy's white picket fence American dream where everybody's going to get a participation trophy and we're all going to win. That's not the case. That's not where we're at. And we're never going to be back in that type of reality again. This is a new world order. This is a changing world order. Who's the winner? Who becomes victorious? What does gold go to? What does oil go to? What currencies last? Well, that's all part of the fun. That's all part of the fun as we stack the hell out of these assets. These hedge funds, as we showed you guys earlier in this episode, 500 million worth of shorts on silver, 5 billion worth of shorts on gold. Big money managers. They're getting cleaned out. They're getting wrecked on those shorts right now. But I believe that these institutions have picked up big, long positions. I believe that they've been adding the physical metal to their vaults. While they place paper shorts, they add the gold to their vaults. They pick up the silver. We just saw the U.S. Mint picked up an options contract for $10 billion worth of silver at a fixed rate because they're trying to lock in the price for the U.S. Mint. People are trying to lock in the price of silver, and the industry is willing to go pick up the industrial size bars that are getting absolutely cleaned out because this is what's used in our technology, in the batteries, in the new Green New Deal. We need more silver. The new solar industry that's getting and just continues to expand. And the Tomahawk cruise missiles that are getting sent out, shipped out, and about to get dropped. 500 ounces of silver in every Tomahawk cruise missile. Saddens me that that's going to be part of our profit of silver. But that's reality. That's how the world works. I don't get to pick and choose that. I get to pray over that. That's not how I want to make my money. But it's part of leveling the playing field. Unfortunately, it's going to be part of leveling the battlefield too. And I don't say that to make a joke about it. It's a damn serious situation. 500 ounces of silver in every Tomahawk cruise missile. Gaza invasion is imminent. This is just starting off. I can't wait to hear from my mentor, Dan Pena. I can't wait to hear from the old man at the next seminar. Why do you think I listen to a veteran who tells me to run towards the gunfire as we defend our family, as we defend our businesses, as we get ready to build generational wealth? A mentor who's built billions of dollars in recessions during wars. He was building his wealth during the Yom Kippur War. He did deals with both the Jews in Israel and the Arabs, the Muslims in the Arab world as well. He was paraded as and touted as one of the best business and deal makers of that time because he was doing billion-dollar deals with both sides. He talks about how he was able to get the Jews to come to the table on the Sabbath. That's unheard of. It's unheard of. My mentor, he's a crazy guy. But he's done deals with the Vatican Bank. He's done deals with both sides of this. He understands the oil commodity currency war. He predicted negative oil. He predicted that cruise ships were going to be sold for scrap metal. He predicted multiple waves of the Rona. And now where are we at now? He said, and then he said it got even better after that. We got higher interest rates. And then we got the war. I can't wait to hear from his next seminar what the old man has to say. He's been letting it fly. It's unbelievable. These old guys don't care. That's why I still listen to guys that are 76, 77 years old, is because they know their time's up. They don't care. And a guy like Dan, he has all the money in the world. He doesn't care. That's why I'm so excited to see guys like that run for politics. I don't really believe in age limits. I really don't. I believe in if you have cognitive ability, it's very clear. And if you have cognitive ability and you've done a bunch of deals and you have track record and history and experience and you're still spot on, or at least good enough to get the job done, you have experience, let's go. Unlike all these other politicians that enter politics with relatively no money, but then they do backdoor deals to make all their wealth. That's not who we need. That's not real business deal makers. And the beautiful part of like Dan and like Robert Kiyosaki, some of these old guys, they don't care anymore. They've already made their bag. It's just like Trump too. He doesn't care, right? They've already made their bag, and so they just let it fly. And that's what we need. We need that mentality. Deal makers. My mentor says, run towards the gunfire. We got gunfire. We got bombs dropping. It's a really real situation right now. The cities of America. May God be with us. Friday the 13th, here we are. Day of terror, day of rage. We're already seeing the protests here back home. We're already seeing the skirmishes here back home. We've already seen the violence here back home. And as I warned the Patreon in an exclusive video that can only be found in my Patreon community, in my private group, I talked about how the agents are about to be activated. And I won't speak further on that. That's where we're at. It's not pretty. My man Stuart, I appreciate you and I love you so much, brother. I appreciate all you guys' support. So much love in the chat tonight. So much from the real ones. You guys feel it. This is it. This is it. Stuart dropped another hundo. 4.8 million XRP wallets, 3.6 million less than 500 XRP. World population 8 billion. Do the maths. We are still early 1%ers. Stuart, God bless you. Thank you so much for the support. 100 spot is absolutely massive. And that'd be the Australian dollar. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. We talked about that in the video earlier this week, didn't we? About how 3.6 million of the nearly 5 million wallets, we're at 4.8 million wallets total on XRP, and 3.6 million of them have less than 500 XRP. We are part of such a small group. We are part of a minority. And many folks don't realize just how small that group actually is. Not only do we have 1%ers in the group, Stuart, we have 0.1%, 0.01%ers in our group. You wouldn't believe. We have big hitters in our community. There are big hitters that have picked up XRP. As I asked the chat earlier, do you think that Vitalik Buterin stacked XRP? As I titled tonight's episode, XRP better than Bitcoin, or better sound money than Bitcoin. That's a direct quote from Vitalik Buterin, guys, in 2019. Can you believe that? Direct quote from the founder of Ethereum. Before he left to go create Ethereum, he tried to get an internship at Ripple. His visa was denied, probably because he's a foreign agent. And he was sent to spy on Ripple. He was sent to spy on the righteous custodians of the reserve currency XRP, the strategic weapon, the one of the assets, at least. I wouldn't call it the one, but I would call it one of the assets that gets brought to the world stage to level the playing field and potentially even bring peace. I like to be sensitive of the situation at hand. I don't want to put out a headline that says XRP solves World War III. I don't want to be out there saying XRP solves world peace, but it can. It could be part of it. That's a conversation worth having. There's a reason why central banks are stacking more gold than they have in 50 plus years. There's a reason why we're having a war that we haven't had in 50 plus years. Gee, go figure. What a coincidence. Check the timeline. Exactly on a 50-year anniversary of a Jubilee year. Just after we complete another Shemitah cycle, where we enter another bear market recession, cleansing, harvest, let the field be restored biblical moment in the markets. Go figure. And now we find ourselves in a group. 3.6 million of those 4.8 million wallets have less than 500 XRP. When you calculate nearly 5 million XRP wallets, let's just round up to 5 million. We'll be there soon. Do your part. Share the good word far and wide that everybody should have an XRP wallet. Not financial advice, but maybe it might be a good idea to have an XRP wallet. You're going to need 10 XRP minimum. Now think about that. At today's price, it costs about $5 US to get your 10 XRP at 50 cents. In a future world, post-reset, post-apocalypse, post-World War III, post-settlement, in the SEC staged lawsuit against Ripple. How many US dollars is it going to take to open an XRP wallet where the minimum is 10 XRP. Now they can vote to change that. It used to be 20. Now it's 10. So now it's going to cost you $5 to open up a wallet. Doesn't sound like much. It is a lot for the rest of the world. It's a lot to the rest of the world. We are part of such a small group, and so many people are going to offload, dump their XRP at $5 and $10. There's people that are ready to offload their XRP at $2. There's people that are offloading all their XRP right now at 50 cents. They're in my comments. I smile and I pray for them. Hope the program works out. My videos right now, I laugh, are full of comments. All this good news. XRP still at 50 cents. XRP will never hit $1. XRP will never go to all-time high. You're full of crap. You're a scammer. You're full of BS. You're a bad guy. I don't like you. You're whatever. I'm dumping all my XRP. I'm bored with XRP. My comments are full of that right now. What can I do? All I continue to do is show up. I provide transparency. I tell you guys my story. I tell you how I see it. And if you want to dump all of your XRP bags right now, I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm not here to be your financial advisor. And if you have to dump your bags right now because you've been squeezed out, because we're at $1 trillion of credit card debt, because we've entered a recession and a bear market, and we've been cleaned out, because your business is struggling, because you've lost equity in your real estate, because your 401k has been cleaned out, that's why I do what I do. That's why I pull up every single day, multiple times per day, to provide the information that you need to not let that happen again, to not let that continue. Like I said, we've only started the correction. In some of these historical crashes, we've seen assets, markets crash 30, 40, 50% on average. Now, what did we see for assets that went up? Well, real assets went up. Real commodities, real value always goes up in relation to fiat funny money. Oh, gee, go figure. Why didn't they teach us that in school? Well, they teach us all this other crap. They don't teach us the basic fundamentals of money and how through inflation, the value of our dollar is being absolutely destroyed, and why the American dream is absolutely dead, and why Jerome Powell doesn't care that the American dream is dead. He doesn't care that your family's struggling. He doesn't care that I ate ramen today. He doesn't care that I'm drinking cheap wine. They're whining and dining like you wouldn't believe. The good old boys and gals, the private banking cartel that hijacked this country and has been manipulating all of the assets along with their Wall Street buddies who have suppressed these assets and who have been exposed for suppressing these assets. And now the system, now the rules, now the laws are changing to where we come into a new era of transparency, where we get fair market value price discovery for these assets that have been suppressed for decades, where we get the death and the destruction of the US dollar as we know it. Does the US dollar go away? Do we still have a representation of a US dollar through a treasury note, through a Federal Reserve bill, through a rainbow note currency? We'll find out what happens during this reset, during this restructure, during this revalue. But what I do know, what I do believe in my heart, is that gold and XRP are going to be part of leveling the playing field. That silver is going to be a critical commodity in the new financial system, in this new era that we're entering of, new sources of energy, i.e. vis-a-vis solar, i.e. electric vehicles, i.e. electric batteries, i.e. silver is used in so much. And we're running at a 230 million ounce deficit last year. Over the next decade, over the next 7 to 10 years, we see a historical revolution and transformation underway. Fourth industrial revolution. These assets are not going to be at 50 cents. XLM's not going to be at 10 cents. What's the XLM at right now? My man Stuart dropped another hundo. Can you believe that? That's how real our community is. We got real ones in the chat here showing the love. Stuart, God bless you, brother. Another hundo Australian. God bless you. Congrats on that, Stuart. I can't speak on that publicly, but I appreciate you, brother. We're keeping tight lips these days, but I appreciate you, brother. It's an absolute blessing. And I believe that it's part of the solution. You know, Elon Musk says that we should be making more babies too, doesn't he? Right? I guess that we should all be creating babies. We should be buying some more XRP, maybe stacking some more precious metals, looking at equity deals. You bet. Looking at how we move in the real estate asset class. You bet. Impacts all of us. Reset already underway. In the equity markets, I'm so excited. This is so unfortunate that, you know, accredited investors, if they had their way, they would take the accreditation standard to $10 million net worth. They literally want to keep you out of these opportunities, folks. It's written within the laws. It's only supposed to be meant for the rich. You're too stupid to invest your own money in a private company, in a private equity deal. Do a private placement. You're too stupid. And you need the protection of good guy Gary Gensler and the SEC to protect you to be able to invest in these type of opportunities. And if they had their way, they would make the accreditation standards even more strict. This is what's so unfortunate. And this is why the rich continue to get richer, right? The top 1%, their wealth continues to grow. It's because they've invested in the best opportunities that the rules and the laws are written to keep out the peasants, to keep out the little guys, to keep out the non-accredited. But now we see new opportunities opening up. We see the SEC taking losses, being checked for their corruption, being checked for the extension of their actual jurisdiction, which is being reined back in by U.S. courts. And thank God we still have somewhat of a rule of law here in the United States that's keeping us protected. Yep, Tony with the 5 spot. Yep, Tony, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. You skipped XLM. Red Crawler. No. We're not going to skip XLM. XLM plays a role. XLM focusing more on retail, you know, and that's great. There's plenty of money to move around. There's plenty of money that moves around every single day. XLM and Sneaky Jed McCaleb, along with Stellar and their CFO, Danelle Dixon, big hitter. See, Danelle Dixon has been tasked. She's been called into Congress multiple times to speak on cryptocurrency regulation. Stellar's tied in with the central banks of the world as well. Maybe not as many as Ripple, but absolutely connections run deep. Yes. Zach, did you see Biden trip up the stairs? Goodness gracious. You guys crack me up. I did. Isn't the show unbelievable that we're watching right now? I can't even comment on it. Oh, man. Yeah, Rippled Lumen, you're correct. Yeah. XRP equals private ledger institutional. The focus is on wholesale too, right, Dex? Right? So wholesale payments versus retail, that's the big discrepancy between the target markets and utility use cases between XRP and XLM. Remember, though, that's just what Ripple's doing with XRP, and that's just what Stellar is doing with XLM. But these are both open source and permissionless. So if you want to build out a retail use case for XRP, you can. If an institution wants to get involved with XLM, they absolutely can. That's no problem, right? That's the beauty of being open source and permissionless. So it's not that XRP is only for wholesale institutions. It's just that that's what Ripple is helping institutions and wholesale payment networks accomplish. That's what it's about. Zach, what do you know about XPR Proton? Oh boy. It is something that doesn't interest me. It is something that doesn't interest me. You know, I've taken a look at it. I've taken a look at Proton. I'm not here to bash it. I didn't find that the opportunity was worth the investment for me. That's my politically correct, nice answer for the Proton bros. The Proton Bros are funny. A lot of them, yeah, you know, God bless them. God bless them. Good luck. God bless. Stuart Lavelle, my man. God bless him. You guys are on it. You guys are on it in the chat. Yep. Let me take a look here at what our markets are doing right now. We've been on for over 2 hours tonight. 2 hours, 15 minutes. 26,900 for our Bitcoin. XRP back at 48.5 and Ethereum at 1554. Relatively sideways through the night here. Most of the market sleeping, I guess. We're going to start to see Asia pick up. And once again, we do get the cryptocurrency markets trading 24/7. So that's good to see. Let's see if we got any fresh news. Okay, this is massive. Here we go. This will wake you back up again. Guys, speaking of bombs getting dropped, we have Steven Narioff, who just continues to drop bombs on Twitter. I mean, this guy is lighting it up with the bombs that he's dropping. And I'm about to share this tweet here from Steven Narioff. I'm going to take another sip of my adult beverage. Thank you for hanging out with me, guys. We've been here live for 2 hours. This is a long session that we've been doing it, huh? So much to cover. So much to talk about. And the markets don't sleep now. With crypto moving 24/7, markets ain't sleeping. And the war continues on regardless. Now we see Steven Narioff commenting on noticing how the scandals of a few weeks ago are no longer in the news. Isn't that perfect timing, right? Congress coup, RFK defection, Hunter who? Oh boy. We better not say that name. We better not go down that rabbit hole. What Ukraine and Russia war? Biden tough talk versus bribes? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The criminal crime family. Uh-oh. Nobody can explain how Hamas got this through intelligence. Uh-oh. Questions we're not supposed to ask, Steven. We better be careful. Distraction winner, Sam Bankman-Fried, conspiracy, got a better answer. And Ashley Prosper comments, we've maintained our focus for nearly 3 years now. No worries over here. And that's what we do. Ashley Prosper, one of the best in the XRP truth community. And to Steven's point, see, this is what we've been talking about, is that the more that we press, the more that we apply pressure, the more that, you know, all these bombshells, all this, corruption gets exposed all the way up to the White House and beyond, right? We're exposing the corruption of the elite at the very tippy top of the conspiracy. And oh, by the way, the conspiracy has turned out much of it to be fact. We were directly over the target, and now we are being vindicated on a daily basis. Now it's being connected all the way from the top, all the way down. And now what happens? 50-year Yom Kippur War anniversary. We pop it off. And now we have a solar eclipse. This ain't going to come around for another couple decades, I think, actually. This solar eclipse in particular, which is going to be a ring of fire solar eclipse, traversing over much of the United States, and we'll be able to see it. Will be the best visuals on it. The great American solar eclipse taking place. And then we get a lunar eclipse taking place later this month. Just like we called last year. And we warned about the sacrifice that was going to be coming up. We got it served up on the platter. It was Sam Bankman-Fried, and it was the FTX collapse that took place. And now, 1 year later, we're in the middle. The whole thing's blown up. And we're in the middle of Caroline Ellison. Her tape is getting released on the all hands on deck November 9th meeting that took place after the whole thing went bust and we had a massive liquidation event on the exact day that we warned about. And now here we are, we warned about today's events that we see over the last week. The current events over the last week we've been preparing for the last couple years. And actually, even beyond that, I've been preparing for this for over a decade. I started reading and understanding this back when I was in high school, which, you know, I guess I'm coming up on my 10-year anniversary, I guess. Here we are, our 10-year anniversary. Wow, I am getting old. I am getting old. I was a little young whippersnapper in high school. In between doing all the high school things, I was studying Ron Paul. I was studying current events. I was studying our private central banking cartel. I was studying, you know, our history. Why are they not talking about this stuff in school? What are all these conspiracies? And it started during that time, led all the way up into 2012, 2013. And then I started to really wake up. And then I started to take action in 2015, started my business. In 2018, I started to invest. In 2019, I went all in XRP. In 2019, I thought the XRP was going to the moon all throughout that year, all throughout 2020. And then the staged lawsuit of the century drops. And XRP goes back down to levels that we never thought we were going to go back down to. Back below 30 cents, back below 20 cents. SEC staged lawsuit filed against us. We thought it was going to settle up. We thought it was going to be done much sooner than it was. Here we are, 2023, still going on. But what has occurred? Major victories, historical victories on the legal battlefield of XRP in and of itself not being a security. Send it. Absolutely send it. And I see Warwick with another massive. Our Australian brothers are showing up from the land down under, $159. Are you kidding me, Warwick? From the land down under, I guess we'll accept that currency. This is our first super chat from Warwick Formosa. Loving this live chat. Patreon member, let's go. Let's get it, brother. And you've been seeing, I've been dropping the Patreon exclusives, topics that we can't talk about on the public platforms, but on a late night session after we've had a couple of adult beverage, we are ready to let it fly. You better believe it. And I don't want to hold back. I don't want to do a TikTok dance. I know that doing the TikTok dance helps me go viral. So I do the TikTok dance. And we go get 100,000 plus views on our video. We're still doing that on TikTok. Are we getting peak bull market, activity? Not necessarily, but we're still popping off. Our videos are still hitting on TikTok, on Twitter. And that's why I'm going to continue showing up every single day, multiple times a day. Friday Night Live, 2.5 hours. Because we can go for hours on end. Our content doesn't run out. Our content is not just based off of XRP Hopium and Warwick. Our content is for the real ones like you, brother. And like everyone else who supports my channel by smashing the thumbs up, by dropping the super chats, by sharing the message out far and wide, by making sure that you hit that notification bell so you don't miss when I'm live at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 10 o'clock here on the West Coast. Australia is still, what's your guys' time there in Australia? Let me know what time it is in Australia. You guys are just having dinner? Having a good old time? Pulling the shrimp off the Barbie? That's a terrible joke. I shouldn't have said that. That was a stupid, cheesy, just a terrible joke. You guys are just having a good time, huh? I know you guys are in the land down under, though, so you guys are already a few adult beverages deep. It's 5 o'clock, 6. What time is it in Australia? You guys are crazy down there. The Aussies are insane. You guys live in a land that is incredible. I can't wait to visit Australia. See what you guys got going on down there. I know you guys are a good time. Good people. Good people. Warwick, I really do appreciate the super chat, though, brother. Thank you so much for the support. And I thank you for being a Patreon member as well. Please pray constantly. Dogwood, absolutely. Not only do I pray, see, I believe in prayer and I believe in the law of attraction, but I believe that the law of attraction and prayer works when you add your actions and your consistent actions and you continue to show up even when you don't want to, that's what really sets the law of attraction in motion. And that's what helps us not only get our prayers answered, but we get blessed with the opportunities that come our way, with the people that come into our lives. That's how we get blessed. Stuart, I see you showing up again, brother, all night long. Stuart, another 20 spot. Hypothetically, if I owned XRP, I would never sell unless emergency. I understand if you had to, I've been there, but don't do it again. Now, Stuart, what I'm excited for is for us to be able to get exposure for XRP, DeFi, leveraging, AMMs, you name it. I don't care if I have to go to Bank of America, which I'm expecting them to become a Ripple partner, or well, they already are a Ripple partner. I'm waiting for Bank of America to announce that they're starting to use XRP for a competitive advantage. And that's kind of the word on the street that we got from the last Ripple Swell conference, is that, you know, Bank of America was looking to use XRP for a competitive advantage after the SEC lawsuit. So I don't care if Bank of America is going to give me 5% on my XRP, or I'm going to be able to give my XRP up to an AMM where I'm making 5%. I might do both. I probably will do both, right? And Bank of America is going to say, oh yeah, you can park your XRP here and we'll let you leverage your XRP into a loan for real estate, into a loan for business. And what I'm working on right now is making sure that my businesses are bulletproof, that the infrastructure for my businesses isn't going to be going away. This is value that the market wants and demands, no matter whether or not we're in a bull run or a bear market, no matter or not whether we're in a participation trophy economy, everybody's winning, or we're in a depression. People are still going to want what? Good information, good education, good content around the news, the current events, building businesses, investing, and that's what we do. It's very simple. That's never going to go away. In fact, it only increases. Folks might have less money to work with because they're getting wrecked during a depression and during a recession, but our services and our value is even in more demand right now. And when it swings back to the next bull run, that's what we're setting our stage. That's what we're setting our infrastructure for right now. We're building out our team, building out our infrastructure, building out our courses, building out our programs, building out our content for folks to come on in during the next bull run, and they can be brand new, they can be advanced, and we can help you out. We can get you in touch. We can show you a deal. We can, discuss the deal that you're working with. This is what goes down in the Patreon Discord group, where I also get to go completely unfiltered, uncensored, and I don't have to worry about doing a TikTok dance, don't have to worry about doing a YouTube dance. I actually, even though X and the Twitter platform has been incredible, I still worry about getting in trouble over there. We've been having to, kind of be careful over there on Twitter as well. On Patreon Discord, my exclusives over there, I could touch on these other topics that are off limits here in the public platform, but then I can also talk about the deals that I'm looking at, the deals that you're looking at. You got questions about your investments. You got questions about what you should do with your money. I am not going to tell you what to do. I'm not going to tell you when to buy, when to sell. I'm not going to trade for you. I'm not going to give you any financial advice. I'm not going to, I'm not going to operate within the capacity of being a financial advisor to you. What I'm going to do is share my opinion on every asset, every stock, every deal that you want to run by me. And what I'm going to show you is what I'm doing. The moves that I'm making: stocks, equities, real estate, cryptocurrencies, business, prepping, essentials, family, spiritual. How's the full program working out? How deep does the program go? What all does the program cover? Just about everything. Just about everything. And what I'm working on right now, what my focus is over this fall, winter, is package everything up into consumable bite-sized pieces. Not everybody can hang out for 2.5 hours on a live session where we're turning up, having ourselves a good time. And I want to make bite-sized consumable content that can help you move the needle forward, that can encourage you and inspire you, give you something to work with when you're building out your fundamental investment thesis, when you're building out your business from the ground up, when you're looking to protect your bag. You already have $1 million. Congratulations. What do we do now? That's a real question. And over the last 3 years of making content, I've had everybody approach me, from 20-year-olds who have nothing to invest all the way up to folks that are 60, 70 years old with, a nest egg, with a retirement account, with a 401k, with a financial advisor that is getting them wrecked, with a financial advisor that can't really explain or answer the questions that they ask. That's why folks come to me. I'm not going to be your financial advisor. I don't have the license for that. I don't have my Series 7. I'm not here to be a financial advisor. I'm here to share my opinion on every deal, asset, currency, every situation that you want to ask about. That's what I do. And the ability to not operate as a financial advisor allows me to share my opinion freely. I can talk about an investment, an asset, a currency, a situation without having to worry, because I'll let you know, oh, I do own that asset. You want to know how I feel about XRP? I'm incredibly bullish. I think it's going to be the reserve currency. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows I have a big bag. You want to know how I feel about XLM, XDC? You want to know how I feel about your real estate deal? I'll tell you. You want to know how I feel about your business deal? You want to go buy a business deal with your buddy? Let's run through the numbers. Yes, you love your friend. Yes, the business pencils out on paper. But why do you think 9 out of 10 businesses fail? Let's make sure that your business isn't going to be that 90% of businesses that go bust and turn the key, fail within the first year. And of the 10% of businesses that survive that first year, 90% of them fail in the first 5 years. That's the true stats. And then we can also talk about sudden wealth syndrome. We want to make sure that you don't take the money and you made $1 million off of XRP and Dogecoin, and now you're going to go waste it on bottles and models. That's not the program. That's not what we do. You don't need to rent a girlfriend. Let's look to build a wholesome relationship. And I make that joke. I use that example because we've been talking about in our community over the last 2 years, this is a real spiritual, emotional battle as well, a psychological battle. And we can't just be XRP bag holders and let the rest of our world fall around us. And we don't have a life outside of XRP, right? Whether we need to find a significant other, which maybe you guys, I'm not going to be able to stop you guys when XRP goes up, when we enter the next bull run and you make a bag and you're going to be able to impress a girl. I'm not going to be able to stop you from doing that. And I'm not here to tell you to make, that investment in said situation. What I'm here to do is to tell you that what my program is about right now is about finding opportunities, finding ways that I can get ROI in every single aspect of my life. Part of that's family. Part of that's relationships. Part of that's friends. Part of that is helping back giving back to my community. Part of that is health. What am I eating right now? Well, if I had to be honest with you guys, as I encourage everybody else to do, be completely transparent and own up to it. Health is one of the assets that I've been slacking on. Guilty. As I sit here tonight, sipping an adult beverage, sipping, I guess some would call it poison. That's okay, right? We try to stay as natural as possible. And I do try to eat as healthy as possible. And shout out to Wifey, because she helps me stay better than I would be on my own. If it was left up to my own devices and resources and laziness when it comes to cooking for myself, it wouldn't be too good. So shout out to Wifey for helping me eat a lot healthier than I would be if I was just left to my own. Stuart, are you kidding me, dude? Are you kidding me, Stuart? Another fitty spot? Stuart says, keep motivated, Zach, and stay healthy. That's what it's about. Excuse me. What I just invested in is, grass-fed organic beef from a local farmer. You bet we just bought some of that, right? You bet we're going to be putting some of that into our system. You bet I got my garden going. I don't have a big garden right now. I'm excited to grow have a bigger garden, have a bigger farm, have a bigger ranch. That's where I'm going to pile in my wealth. I'm going to be buying up farmland. I'm going to be buying up ranches. We're going to be really doing those deals. But for the meantime, I keep it coming in as far as doing what I can. Growing some tomatoes, growing some vegetables, getting a little something going. Gives me something to do out there in the yard with the little one. That's a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun doing that. But it's expensive, right, to go buy good quality produce and food. But what I've done, this is all part of the relationships. Part of our relationships is not just finding, a mentor for investing, for business, finding an accountant, finding a lawyer. Part of the relationships that we've been talking about in our community is local farmers who got grass-fed beef, right? That's what we want to get. And we can get it at a price. This is the good thing, is that you can get it at a price that might be comparable to the local market, but the quality is way better. It's not even comparable. And if you do the deal right, depending on how good of a relationship that you have with these farmers, you might even be able to get it at better than what you can pay at the supermarket. And the quality is way better as well. That's ideal. And then when it comes to growing our own food and vegetables, it really doesn't take much. I like gardening. It's fun to me. I have an adult beverage out in the yard on a Sunday afternoon, plant a couple things, throw a couple seeds in the dirt. I don't get all crazy with it. I throw seeds in the dirt, water it, whatever lives. Some of it doesn't make it. That's fine. We just grow a little bit, right? And we're going to grow a heck of a lot more. And I think it's one of the best investments that we can make for our families right now is making sure that we get good quality food, good quality water, and then we need to educate ourselves on money. That's life, man. I mean, having good experiences and making sure that we can bring value to our communities, that's how we live a prosperous life. That's how we live a life full of purpose. We find purpose within bringing the value that we offer to the world to our community. And like I said, you don't have to just sell your products and services to your local neighbors. You don't have to open up a mom and pop brick and mortar shop down the road. You can. But we have the internet to get you in touch with people across the world. This is all part of the level playing field. Prod LB, Zach, appreciate your work, brother. With all the predictions of $25 to $45 XRP getting thrown around, where do you see XLM reaching? God bless. I appreciate that 10 spot, brother. That's massive. The Australians are showing up tonight. What time is it in Australia? I got to look back on the comments. Did you guys tell me what time it is in Australia? Dex, you're hilarious, brother. Dex says, my favorite character trait about Zach is when he laughs kind of quietly. Stuart with the 50 spot. Keep motivated. Stay healthy, Zach. God bless you. What time is it in Australia? Did you guys give me an update on that? Zach, talk about the timing of everything happening with the globalist. Okay, couple good questions. Put your comments in the chat right now, guys. I'm still watching you guys. $25 to $45 XRP. Yeah, that would be fun. Where does XLM go? Okay, so all of the assets that missed out on the last bull run have been suppressed XRP XLM. If they would have been able to participate in the last bull run like other older cryptocurrencies did, like Ethereum, Bitcoin, a lot of them did a 3 to 5x. So I think a 3 to 5x from the previous all-time high is very conservative. For Stellar XLM, that puts us at $3 to $5. That's just getting started. That's just conservative. When you talk about $25 to $45 XRP, I mean, that's taken XLM probably to a much higher price point. Excuse me. I mean, we may even be talking double-digit XLM. Absolutely. That's a great question. And for XDC, I see the potential for us to go back up into a few bucks. Into a few bucks for XDC. Now, right now, let's take a look actually at these coins. God bless all of you guys. See, it's only 4 p.m. It's not even 5 o'clock somewhere. But I already know the Aussies. The Aussies are crazy. And they saw me drinking an adult beverage. So they've already probably cracked something over there. Haven't you guys? Shout out to the Aussies in the chat. Shout out to the Canadians. And shout out to the rest of the community. Guys, okay. Comment down below. Let me know where you guys are coming from. I want to hear the worldwide community. I know we got all the US covered. We have all 50 states, all territories covered. Where are you guys coming from? Let me know in the comments down below. Let's take a look at these prices though. So, market cooled back off from where we were at. 26,900 for Bitcoin. 48.5 for XRP. That's 48.5 cents. Some of the market got a little bump today. Solana up slightly up to 22 bucks. Cardano 24 cents. Dogecoin coming in at that 9 spot at 586. Not to be confused with 589.05. So at right there 0.0586 for Dogecoin. Tron down. Absolutely. Now, where did our Stellar go? Stellar at 10 cents. Yeah. Stellar at 10 cents. And the all-time high for Stellar was, what was it? It was about $1. All-time high was 9,381. So about 94 cents for Stellar. I think that we 3 to 5x that easily. $3 to $5 Stellar with ease. H-bar up a couple percent point today here to 4 cents. Filecoin at $3. Wow, absolutely. Just been smacked. Algorand at 9 cents. Wow. These cryptos have just been smacked. And XDC coming in just under 5 cents at 0.04964. Just under 5 cents for XDC. Wow. Wait. XDC spiked hard today, though. Up 6%. Wow. XDC ripping today. How about that? A little 7% pump for XDC. Love to see it. Now, what we saw today, I think, is a glimpse of kind of our future that's coming, which is oil pumped, the dollar remained flat, oil pumped, gold pumped, Bitcoin pumped, and XRP, XDC, and our favorites pumped, right? So that's fantastic to see. While everything else is going down, getting cleaned out, we see our favorites pumping. Now, Stellar was only up about 1% today. It did go up, slightly, back up to 10 cents, and it's basically been at 10 cents, just kind of moving sideways here. Let's take a look at some of these cryptocurrencies on our charts. So this is Bitcoin 4-hour chart. We can see we bounced off that 702 fib, essentially, back up to 27,100 today, cooling off to 26.9 at the time of this recording, watching that one closely. Let's take a look at some of our others. US oil pump, just like we did to finish off last week. Remember, we pumped last week, and then we started off this Monday. We pumped when the markets opened up on Sunday. Sunday night, the markets opened up in China, and they opened up in the futures markets. And we saw that oil pumped, and then we got cleaned out back down here to about 82 bucks per barrel, and then we pump here to finish off the week. Friday the 13th, we pump back up. Oil doing a massive move here. About 7% on the day, on the 24-hour. That's massive for oil, right? Okay, let's take a look at our other ones. Gold, pump, send it. Thank you very much. $1,932 for gold. Pump it. Still pumping as we speak. Send it. Sounds like a good time. And we saw the same thing happen last week, right? Last Friday, we pump, open up the next week. Pump, let's send it. Have a good time. Today, to finish off the week, send it. Up above 1,932. And remember what we talked about earlier this week. Shanghai, over there in China, what are they doing? They're paying over $100 over our spot price for their gold. Not for their silver, but for their gold. They're paying at a slight premium for their silver as well. But for their gold premium, they're paying over $100. What does that mean? That means that while US dollar gold is trading at 1,932, that's the price in the West. What is the price in the East? It is about 2,040 or 50 bucks. Imagine that, folks. 2,040, 50 bucks. That's the price of gold over there in Shanghai. They're paying a premium of over $100 our spot price. But then when you actually go to buy the metals, as you guys understand, when you go to the dealer, they're going to tack on a premium. So the Shanghai premium is $100 per ounce over our price for spot. But then you're also going to pay about $80, $90, $100 over melt price for that gold as well, or over the spot price. So you're going to be paying $2,100 US dollars for an ounce of gold in Shanghai right now after your premiums. We're back to all-time high out east, guys. That's what's happening right now as we speak. Look at this pump. Send it. And what did we talk about over the Yom Kippur War 50-year anniversary? What did oil and gold do over the next 7 years? Oil did a 10x, gold did a 20x. Let's have ourselves a good time. That's what's coming again. Maybe not a 10x for oil, maybe not a 20x for gold, but something similar. We're going to have some fun. You better believe it. What else do we got? Let's take a look here. S&P 500 here, taking a look. Back down here at about 4,300 bucks. Back down for the S&P. Watching the stocks got kind of hit again here today. XRP, this is where we're watching right now for XRP. Back up to 48.5. This is your 4-hour chart. Let's zoom out on the XRP chart though. Let's take a look at this thing. Once again, one of the most rigged charts in cryptocurrency in all of the assets that are tradable. This is one of the most rigged charts for XRP. Sorry, this chart's kind of jacked up. I'm trying to just show you guys kind of zoomed out what we're looking at here for the manipulation on XRP. The manipulation on XRP is unlike anything that we see in any other asset. Up to $1 after Judge Torres ruling, back down to 50 cents. Here we are. Okay. Watch for this thing to get taken out a little bit lower. We're going to be watching XRP closely. If you guys need to stack some more, I think that you will be getting an opportunity to do so. Let's take a look at silver. Silver pump. Silver pump last week, we bounced back up. We were back actually at about $20 spot price for silver last week. Back down to 20 bucks. Silver got cleaned out. Silver gets cleaned. We chop sideways, 20 bucks. The end of last week, what happens? Yom Kippur War gets ready to pop off. Market starts to pump for real commodities, real assets, real money. Silver takes off back above 21 bucks. Now, we did just get cleaned out the day before. I had noted how silver was back down, back below $22 per ounce, back down to 21.7. What do we get today? A pump. Let's send it. Let's have some fun. Let's have ourselves a good time. Absolutely love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. S&P 500 cleaned. S&P 500 cleaned again here today. Stocks down. Stocks down. What else do we got? Treasuries pump. Treasuries pump. Based off the news, inflation comes in hot. All the numbers come in not good. And it looks like the Fed may have to keep rates raised higher for longer. And that's why we see the yield on the 2-year pump once again back above 5%. We topped out here 5% yesterday. And now we pump once again. Where have we been trading at? We just topped out. We zoom out, 4-hour chart. We just topped out at about 5.2% for the 2-year. That kills everything, guys. When you can go get 5% on a 2-year treasury Why would you go invest in real estate when you're looking at an opportunity that could be risk exposure for 5, 10, even longer, could be your time frame on that piece of real estate, and the cap rate that you're going to get is only going to be 5 or 6% with it, all sorts of risk, when you could go to the treasury and you could just get a 5% 2-year treasury at low or limited risk. For me personally, I'm not interested in doing a deal with the United States government because I think that they're broke and bust. And so I'd rather pass on that deal with the treasury. But many folks taking that deal on, 10-year treasury breaking up to about 4.8. And now we see it did go back up again this week, back up to about 4.7, cooling back off here to about 4.6. But relatively speaking, this run up here in the 10-year is just cleaning out the markets. Just cleaning out the markets. Let's zoom out here. Let me adjust this chart for you guys. And let's take a look here. Let's take a look zoomed out. So this is where we're at for the 10 and the 2-year, is we're at levels that we haven't seen since the great financial crisis. Gee, go figure. All the data, all the charts, where does it take us? Great financial crisis and worse. Some of the charts take us back to the Great Depression. So what we're in is the bet is, are we going to just get a recession or are we going to get a depression? Make your bet. And good luck surviving, by the way. That's where we're at. And you can see here back up to about 4.8, nearly breaking back up about 5%. We haven't seen levels like this since 2007, 2006. Incredible. Incredible. So this thing has basically gone bust. Let's take a look. This is going to be our gold chart way zoomed out. Just to give you guys a glimpse of what we're looking at for gold. This needs to be moved right there. I've gone back and shown you guys this. When we go back to the 70s, this is all the way back to the 70s. This is the weekly chart for gold, all the way back to the 70s. Nixon takes us off the gold standard right here. What does gold do? Pump, send it. And it goes up 20x, 22x to be exact, 2,200% from $35 where gold had kept its peg for so long, all the way up to $875 after Nixon took us off the gold standard. When did the Yom Kippur War break out? Right here. Right there to be exact. October 73, right there where you see my marker. That is the Yom Kippur War. What happened after that? Gold doubled within the next year. And then it proceeded to go from that level all the way up to about 900. It basically 10x'd after that. Where are we at right now? Well, let's zoom out. And we'll zoom in from where we had zoomed out at. And we'll see that we are in a trading range right here. This is our gold since 2020. Gold started to break out after the last time the Fed paused rates and actually cut them. So when the Fed cuts rates, then we see gold take off. And here we are today. Look at the weekly chart candle right there on gold. Guys, I mean, we haven't done a move like this on the weekly for gold in a long time. Look at that. That's massive. Let's have ourselves a party. 6.8% on the weekly for gold. That's turning up, right? This isn't crypto where you pump 10% in a day, 20% in a day. This is gold. We go back hundreds of years on gold. Now we start to see this thing break out. I mean, yeah. Yom Kippur War breaks out. Gold pumps. Just like it did back 50 years ago. Are we going to do another 20x from this level? Probably not. Okay, but if we just do a 20, or even if we just do a double, let's just do a 2x from this level. That's a life-changing opportunity. Now we have major support at 1800, and what just happened? We got cleaned out back down to 1800. That's all this manipulation. That's all this paper trading that they're now getting exposed for. They've been caught rigging these markets back down to 1800 one final last time. War breaks out, and now we're pumping once again. And so gold does about almost 7% on the weekly. Big support at 1800, big bounce off at 1800. Now we're moving back up. We need to break back below 2000 per ounce. That's a big psychological number. But then after that, we're going to be well on our way. And the exchange premiums are already coming in. We're already seeing the discrepancies like we've never seen before. You're kidding me. Guys. Are you kidding me? Warwick? The Aussies are going crazy in the chat tonight. Let me take another sip of my adult beverage. Huge shout out to Warwick. Huge shout out to Stuart. These guys are making it rain. Along with others. Warwick drops another 159 Aussie fiat funny dollars. Warwick, I appreciate you, brother. I missed that. I missed that one. Warwick drops another 159. And then Stuart comes in with another 20 spot. Okay, YouTube cut me off. See, Zach, us Aussies are trying to get rid of our dollars. This is the whole thing, man. We're all in the same war together, you know? Whether we're investing in our favorite content creator like you guys are doing tonight, I appreciate you guys so much. Seriously, God bless you guys. I appreciate the support. Whether we're supporting our favorite media platform, our favorite influencer, that's great. Whether we're buying precious metals, whether we're buying cryptocurrencies, whether we're looking to grow our business, real estate asset class is getting reset right now. We got to get rid of these fiat funny dollars. We got to make as many of them as possible. And then we got to figure out how we get rid of them as fast as possible to buy the suppressed assets that are going to run the new financial system. Now, excuse me. The other thing that I believe in is supporting local and supporting the causes that you believe in. So whether you're supporting me, whether you're supporting the farmer down the road, that's where I'm putting my money too. I pay, okay, this is actually sad. I went to some of the kind of mainstream financial news media outlets, and I've paid for their dang subscriptions so that I can bring you guys the best content. I paid for Bloomberg. I paid for Market Watch. I got a bundle that included Barron's, included Wall Street Journal, included a couple other ones. And now I've spent all this money on all these subscriptions to these financial news media outlets so that I can bring that information to you guys. And they do have some good stuff. Some of their stuff, they only let you read like 2 or 3 articles, or they let you read 1 article before they make you pay for it. We can't let that happen. So I'm investing in these dang mainstream media outlets so that I can pull some of the good stuff that they have, which is kind of few and far between. But nonetheless, I want to see how the mainstream money managers are getting programmed. Because I know that all the mainstream money managers are reading Barron's, Wall Street Journal, Bloomberg, all these different outlets, right? So that's why I pay for that subscription, so that I can get that source, understand how they're getting programmed, and then I can trade against that. And I want to bring that to you guys. And so what I do, we're doing that. I buy from the local farmer. I support local businesses. Over the last 2 years, really, the amount of dates that I took wifey on just to local restaurants, to support local restaurants during the last 2 years, that's all of my first dates with wifey. We're going to the local restaurants and trying to keep these guys alive. You know what I'm saying? I was so excited. Restaurants started to open back up right when I got kicked off with wifey. And so a lot of our first dates were just going to support the local restaurants. And to that day, I still do that. I always try to support local. I try to invest within my community. But now my community, my family has grown worldwide. I mean, look at these dang Aussies in the chat making it rain tonight, supporting our platform. And we got love in Australia. We got love in South America. We got love coming from Africa. We also love the folks out in Asia. We got folks coming from all over this planet right now. And then we have my good old Americans who are fighting the good fight right alongside with me. We're trying to save our country. But what's so interesting, to your point, is that to Stuart's point, we're fighting this. We're trying to get rid of our fiat funny money, whether we're in Australia, whether we're in the Eurozone using the euro, whether we're talking British pounds, whether we're talking, you name the currency, right? And every once in a while we get folks from South Korea that are dropping hundreds and thousands of South Korea currency, valued against the US dollar. It's not, it's not the same as we see. The US dollar reserve currency has kept us where we're at for America. It ain't going to be that going forward. And so in an effort to wake up Americans and to help the world around us that is waking up, they're being forced to wake up before America. America has the privilege of the reserve currency. The rest of the world is getting hit with austerity, food, water, energy crisis, inflation, much worse than back here in the United States. And so that's what's starting to get folks to wake up and say, I need to do something. I need to bring my investments into my own hands here. I'm going to have to hold myself accountable for my investments. I'm going to have to understand what questions to ask my financial advisor. I'm going to have to understand how real estate is about to get reset, what business opportunities I can invest in going forward, what companies I should invest in when it comes to equity deals. Should I invest in these high-flying stocks that are trading at 200 times P to E? Maybe not. Maybe I should reconsider. Should I invest in memes? Should I invest in metaverse? Should I invest in AI hype? Should I invest in pictures of pudgy penguins? Good luck, God bless. Should I invest in Dogecoin? Should I stack more XRP? This is what I'm helping my community figure out. I hope that you guys enjoyed this session here tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure. You guys are absolutely making it rain. God bless you guys. Stuart says that YouTube cut him off. Prod LB dropped another 10 spot. Have some more funny money. Look at you guys just making it rain. What is this? Shelly drops another 30. Much love from my puppies. With your content, they will receive puppy treats for life. I appreciate you, Shelly. God bless you. God bless you, Shelly. 30 spot. Appreciate the love. It's been an absolute pleasure tonight, guys. We just hit the 3-hour mark. See, I haven't done a 3-hour session in a long time. The reason why I felt like I should do it tonight, why I should pull up and have some fun, is because I wanted to show you guys that my energy is still 100%. My energy, my tank is still full, and we're still pushing through the floor on the accelerator as we build out our business and our investments and our community. We're not stopping. We're not slowing down. We will never bend over or give up. We have the facts and the circumstances, and we know what assets are going to run the new financial system. And we know how to build real value within our businesses so that we don't get taken out during this recession or Great Depression. Make your bet, and may God help you make it through to the other side. And I see another usual, Matt 59754. God bless you, Matt. Appreciate the 20 spot. US dollars coming in. Little fiat funny money US dollar coming in. Matt, 20 spot. I appreciate the love, guys. The support has been tremendous tonight. What an absolute blessing. What an absolute incredible opportunity to come tonight, guys, and bring the energy, bring the positivity in the middle of all this chaos, the distractions, the bear market recession, showing you guys that we still have opportunities at hand that we're going to be taking advantage of. We're still going to be building, and we're still going to be having a good time doing it. Hey, if you guys appreciated this session, please, can we smash that thumbs up on the way out for me? If you haven't already, if you're new here, make sure we subscribe, hit that notification bell, and remember, I'm no longer responding to any DMs. I will not DM you, period. I am never going to trade for you. Watch out for the scammers that are trying to say that I'm trying to trade for you. Never going to happen. I will not do that. I only respond to messages in my Patreon, in my Discord group, and I only will respond to emails that are directly through my website, zachrector.com. Please get in touch with us. If you want to buy precious metals, we can get them shipped directly to your house. We can help you roll over your 401k retirement account. Get in touch with our people. That's what we do. We help you build relationships, build your investment thesis, build your businesses, and build out your preparations to ride out the storm that is not going away. It is confirmed in the economic data and is being confirmed in the kinetic war that is taking place right now across this planet. We continue to pray for peace. We know the energy is going to be heavy as we watch a solar eclipse coming in tomorrow. In the Pacific Northwest, it's supposed to be cloudy, so I guess I might not be able to watch the ring of fire solar eclipse coming over the United States of America. But if you're able to view the solar eclipse, take advantage of that. That's going to be coming in tomorrow. And the market chaos, not going away. Did I see another one? Now, market chaos, not going away. The distractions, not going away. It's only going to pick up over the next year. And I want you guys to be prepared. I want you guys to be able to move with conviction. So thank you for joining my community. I appreciate all of you guys. God bless all of you guys. The support has been amazing tonight. And I will see you guys in the next one. May God bless you all.